representing Yuka.
Yes.
Ashra gave us an inn to the high city, sort of. I gotta talk with someone. Katara, I think. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, Cortara, High Priestess of Ashura, will meet us there to get us in. A book about our companions, seeks will also be there. A book that our companion seeks will also be there.
Yeah. Yes, there is one of the books that Elrilla wanted.
And I went back to recording, so I caught something that I remembered but forgot about, which was Ashra did ask you at some point if you can get me some evidence of this ancient past world. She would appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
She's like, it's not that I don't believe what you told me, and I don't see any ill will in you, but, I can't just go off of your fucking word. You could literally just be a loon. But
I'd need to find a piece of that old world. How much you want to know, or how much you want to bet that what's his name? Gary? No, Gregory. How much you want to bet that Gregory's longboat wasn't the only one that launched from that void ship?
Hard to say. You're asking the person that knows, so I'm not going to tell you.
Could be more.
Yeah. So, Stump, anything you want to add to that? Quite a few things that.
Where did? Sorry, go on.
No, I'm just reading the notes, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that kind of covers most things other than my shenanigans. Yeah, Lima did most of the role playing.
Yep, and I want to emphasize quite heavily that you guys are really not welcome.
Yeah, we noticed.
Granted, that word's not going to spread super quickly, but the longer you stay here, the more you're probably going to, you're not going to get hurt, but, some young kids who want to throw a tomato or two or key your car or, eat your pies, like, it's going to keep happening.
Yep.
That was a strange set of things to happen.
What's a car?
What does it mean by eat my pies? I need clarification.
When you spend a lot of money on a very expensive pie, and some youngin' just comes along and eats it.
Goddamn kids eating my pie.
Speaking of which, speaking of eating out pie, Michelle, are you recording this? Okay. Voice just gonna clip that. Anyway, yeah. So,
something about root beer.
Yes. So, you guys are now traveling your way up to Okerseps, and you need to pass through Kestin or Keskanis. I think that's how I spelled it.
Gonna go get something. I'll be right back.
God damn it.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah. I'm just pulling up the bigger map.
I mean, I can make things worse.
You always do. Casty Guinness. Casty Guinness. Okay, bad. Anyway, so yeah, you guys are you spent the night there, and you're gonna pass through Casty Guinness, and then you're gonna head to Okerseps, which is the main capital, which is where you believe Azragoth has to be, because there's this barge college that he had founded, or at least he's running. You had heard that some bit of information especially from Irakor, that says, he's probably hanging out with Nezargona, which was the queen of this particular type of oligarchic kingdom. And Hamari, you wake up and you're in your tent, and it's probably that kind of ugly sleeping, snoring thing, and you wake yourself up, and you get up, and no surprise, the bard's gone.
Good. Don't want to deal with that shit in the morning.
You do see that he appears to have left behind a set of feathers that he had in his hat.
Did he call it macaroni?
No.
Okay. Is this like some strange custom I'm not aware of, or is there hidden meaning? Is there like a note underneath the feathers?
You could make a history check at disadvantage. For you, DC 18.
Can I open up the character sheet? History check. History. Alrighty, I got a 1 in that.
Oh, right. Nope.
13.
Yeah, so you're not sure. Could be a weird custom. Could just be left it behind. But yeah, a couple of random feathers like that you remember being in his hat. So when you when you get up and you start doing your morning ritual, when you head outside, I'm not even going to make you roll because you happen to see Yuka laying next to your tent, like rolled up in a thing of leaves, gently snoring. As you look over to her, you notice in the forest there's a small gathering of 4 or 5 people, all wearing Asher robes, just watching your camp.
I pull out my gun. I suppose I go back in the tent, grab a gun.
Okay, so you look straight at them, look at the tent, get into your tent, come back, and then pull a gun on them. Roll me a intimidation check. They didn't expect this, so I'll give you advantage, but it's a DC, we'll say 18, no, 17.
I actually I'm not trained in intimidation. Let's see what we get. 10.
I get 10. Yeah, so you pull your gun, and you see one of the smaller ones flinch and duck, but the rest of them just sit there and stand.
Do they actually want me to shoot at them? That seems like a poor choice.
They stand there for a little bit longer, and then they turn and walk away as a group.
I'm gonna.
Brookside walks up behind you and says, They've been there for a little while. They seem friendly.
Hamar is rolling over the legal ramifications of shooting near them, not at them.
Yeah, you could probably get in trouble for that. You've also noticed that black powder isn't very common here. So you might think, fuck, they probably didn't even know what I was holding, fucking tree huggers.
Yeah, I suppose that's possible too.
Please stop antagonizing the locals. Our time here is going to be unpleasant enough as it is.
Yeah, Yuka rolls off of her big ball of leaves, and you see that she was using plant craft to make a pillow or something. As soon as she gets up and yawns, it breaks. Then she looks up at Yuliam and says, why is there time limited? Oh, right.
I never mentioned time was limited. I just mentioned our time here was going to be unpleasant.
Oh, unpleasant. Yeah, so she'll say the same thing, but unpleasant instead of limited, and then she'll be like, oh, right. And then get up and
yeah, well, it should be limited.
Because Nasha's hunting you for some reason. And the locals don't seem to be very happy at us, for some reason. Can't imagine why.
Yeah. Sai's at the campfire roasting some beet, and he's like, yeah, Hamari, what's that about?
Well, let me put it this way. If they keep getting more ornery, there won't be any witnesses, because they're all going to be fucking dead. Hamari will go back in her tent.
If we're going to start committing murder, can you, I don't know, tie them up so I can, make them sign my paper? I'll have a choice.
That's 1,000 ways of creepy. Somehow me killing them is not the bad part.
No, sometimes life is just taken from you. Nothing you can do about it. You're just an unrelenting force, and they just happen to be a small twig.
Let me ask you this. Did you sign your own contract?
Yeah, I did. Not mine specifically, but someone else's.
Okay, whose? Give me an address. I want to know where to send the body.
Forget their name. You could tell he's lying. He definitely remembers the name.
Not even Relic.
He darts an eye at you, Andrew. Hamari, make me a perception check. DC, we'll say, because of how he's positioned, 18.
20.
Yeah, you see him dart his eye at Andrew. Or Liam.
Right. Relic. Who the hell's Relic?
Shit. No one. Anyway, Sai stands up his beet's on fire. He blows it out and eats it. We gotta get going.
Fire? I thought we weren't allowed to have fires.
Hmm?
Why do we have a fire?
No, campfire. His campfire's fine. You saw the other elves have a campfire. They just don't want you lighting fires in the forest, Andrew. Or, Liam.
There's a difference between cooking and arson.
Mm-hmm.
Not that this group would know that.
Yuka nods and she says there's also clear cutting, which is a good way to preserve the forest and make it healthy.
Okay, I've had enough of the tree hugging stuff. Let's just go.
Let's move on.
Yuka's like, and she's like, you can see she's like filled up her canteen. She's got like pulling out leaves. Like, I didn't even get to make my tea.
You can make your tea as I break down my tent.
Yay! And she like goes to like boil the water. Brookside holds the cup for us so it could just sit in the fire.
He's literally just holding the cup in his hands in the fire.
Yeah. He tries a little bit of tea. Doesn't seem to phase him. Arilla, near the end when everyone's all packed up, because apparently she either was been up this entire, like, if you imagine the camera pans of this whole camp, all this all occluding, she's either been up this entire time or never slept. And she's been sitting in the same spot the entire time next to Brookside, just with her face in the book. And she finally says, huh, that's interesting.
Hey, what are you figuring out over there, Bookworm?
You see her brow furl and her, like, one eye, like, twerk, like, annoyed. And she looks at you and says, apparently, you know those way lines I'm talking about?
Aye?
Well, apparently they're associated with your little friend.
Which one?
Bird Boy. Bird Boy, Talos.
Bird Boy?
Yeah, his name
is Talos, eh?
His name, as well as Jurgle, Ashra, and others, are here in the creation of those way lines.
Interesting. And yet, only one of them seemed to be bound to him at the moment.
What do you mean? No one knows about that conversation you had.
Tell you later. Should probably move on right now, though.
How about you tell me when we walk? She closes the book as you guys gather your camp and start to neander.
Does that book mention where the way lines are? Are they only located here, or are they located around the world?
No, there's one in the West Lake in the mountain, one in Semesta, Okerseps, Southeast Lake, and there's one other I'm forgetting. But yeah, they're mentioned here.
So, just basically this forest. We're not going to find any way lines up north with the Great Flame? Down south in the Pound 8?
These were created things, and apparently it's pretty old sing-song elven magic, so unlikely, but maybe not impossible.
Elven magic.
The song spells.
Ah, okay. So the way lines are associated with song or spell singing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
They have strong ties to elementals. So much so that apparently they were all active, and they were made while all the elementals, currently as we know them, were present.
So they were all here at one point, then?
Apparently. At least that's what the legend says.
Possibly.
This is more of a legend book than it is thaumaturgic, and I'm getting annoyed with it.
Possibly a way line for each elemental, eh?
Maybe.
That's interesting.
I'm almost all the way through the book, but I have a feeling the rest of it's not going to be much use. It's been more of a legend and storybook than anything. That high library better have some type of thaumaturgical essays or white papers or something that I can actually dig my teeth into. This thing's been pretty fucking useless.
Aye, it will. Whatever you're looking for is definitely there.
Well, assuming it's there. For all we know, these tree huggers actually, just do things orally. Not what I meant, Tamari. Speaking of which, you were awfully quiet last night.
Oh?
She's talking to Hamari.
Quiet?
She puts her hands beside each side of her face and, like, arrows it at you like that's the joke.
If I wasn't responsible for you, I would have left you somewhere a long time ago.
No one's asking you to be responsible for me.
Yes, they are.
She stops and looks at you, like while you guys stop walking. What? I thought you were just some guide. You're actively responsible for my well-being.
Haven't you seen the way she fights?
Unfortunately, yes.
By whom?
Take a guess.
Your government?
Aye,
we have a winner!
do you want a cookie?
I'll burn you. She shakes her head, says, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I've just been so enthralled with educating myself and learning about your society and the tech that I haven't paid attention to the world around me. It tends to be a fault of mine.
Well, as a show of goodwill and faith, I've been tasked with your safety, while try to entertain the notion of you working with our educated minds.
She crooks an eyebrow. Now that I decide to put any mental thought towards this, why the hell did they send you and not an ambassador?
Because ambassadors generally don't stab things. In this
That's
world,
the
as been pointed out and demonstrated time and time again, is fucking crazy and dangerous.
Yeah, so they sent an assassin.
Yes, you keep repeating yourself.
More of a chaperone, I like to think of it.
Not so easy, Liam. While I've been busy, doesn't mean I'm completely daft. I've seen how Hamari acts.
You've seen how she fights, you've seen how she slinks around. Definitely something more to her than a simple chaperone. That was the joke.
My point. It seems oddly suspicious. Why are you so key to protect me?
Because that's my orders. And it's not my only orders, mind you.
Oh. Do tell.
I'd rather not.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm being exploited.
Now, whatever gave you that idea? More of a trade.
You're being enticed to work with the finer minds of my empire. And to see that through, we need to make sure our investments are covered. So I am here to make sure that during this time that you are well protected.
She glares at you for a little while. Brookside taps her on the shoulder. I don't know, Hamari seems okay. Thanks, Brookside.
See?
Thanks for your insight.
The robot may be a little slow, but he knows a winner when he sees it.
He's a person, you dick.
I've heard that word before. What's a robot?
Automaton.
Mm-hmm. So that's what exactly?
He's right there. Gestures towards Brookside.
I don't know. Seems like he's got his own mind to me. Seems more than a simple golem.
Yeah, Brookside's eyes flash red for a split millisecond. Ariel looks irritated. You might want to choose your words very carefully, Amari.
Seems like he's got a mind, body, and soul to me. That's more of a person than anything else.
Mm-hmm. You guys can think what you want. I'm going to think what I want. How about that?
Aye, so we're going to stay here in reality. You're welcome to join us anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Or when it comes back to slap you on the face, whichever happens first.
Sai pipes up. He's like, I've been thinking. Why are we just standing here?
Didn't I warn you about doing that, Mr. Cyrus?
What, listening to you or standing here?
Thinking.
Oh, boy.
Oh, so clever, so clever. He claps, Eagle pecks the ground, and then flies up on his shoulder. Okay, well, you fucked around enough. Let's go.
All right. My food is apparently arriving right now, so I will be back in just a couple minutes.
Yep. So, Liam, you guys are traversing, and you are at Casty Guinness' gate. It is, as a gate, is more of just like a really fancy, overgrown tree line that has basically a tree that grew into a ramp, and this particular town rests on top of a small plateau. And it's about roughly the same size as Seminus, maybe slightly bigger. And again, you see, tree tunnels. You see tons of. In this city, you see just a lot more of the elven architecture, where they basically have grown, trees into houses and buildings, and using shrubbery to accent a lot of the buildings. The paving is mostly all stone. And as you walk and the wind blows through the area, you can hear a illustrious amount of musical pieces of wood and stone and bone and other unique, interesting sounds emanating from what are supposedly wind chimes. And as you guys pass through, you start getting directions. Getting directions towards Ochre Steps, which is towards the north. And eventually, as you guys are coming through the town, you pass by a group of Ashra priests. They don't appear to be pissed or bothered by your presence. They pass on by you. And at some point, you're all walking, and you're getting closer to the other quote-unquote gate that would lead out north towards Ochre Steps. And you see a fairly large sized train of wagons with these very unique, kind of long-necked, lanky types of... They kind of look like if you made an anteater less fat and made it taller, pulling these wagons. And you see 8 or 9, and a few of them appear to be compressed market stalls that have been made for transport. And as they're coming through and you're passing by, you guys have to wait at one point as a group of people kind of meander past you just shortly after the wagon train passes. And as you guys are standing there for a moment, you kind of look back and you hear Sai say, where'd Yuka go?
For the love of...
Yeah, Sai turns around and says, yeah, she's just not here.
I returned.
Yuka, you guys are in the city of Gastiganis. I keep yawning. And a wagon train went by, and a group of people passed by as soon as the wagon train passed you, and then it made you guys stop. And then when you stopped, Sai said, where is Yuka? And currently that's where you guys are.
We gotta go back for her.
When was the last time anybody saw
her? Sai shrugs, was it my turn to watch her? Brookside says, I think I saw her stop a little while ago near the fountain in the center of the city. I thought she was still following.
Right,
Trace her steps. Hopefully she's somewhere along the way.
All right, off we go.
Yeah, so you guys head back, and you get to the square, and you're kind of following along this wagon train, and eventually the wagon train wraps around the square, and then people start hopping off their wagons. Looks like they congratulate each other or talk with each other.
Stop it!
I'm trying not to. It's actually annoying the hell out of me. As you guys look around and you're becoming more frustrated, Arilla points out, oh, there she is. And you see Yuka walking towards your group with a new staff in hand.
Ah, that's what you were doing. A little warning ahead of time.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just I needed one of these, and I just happened to see a person wielding one and looked like they were selling. So, sorry.
Well, we all good now?
Yeah. Also, this one isn't made out of bloodwood.
Probably a good thing. Glad to see you on the up and out.
Yeah, although I gotta say the warmth of the other one was nicer.
Aye, so let's get moving before other people overhear us.
Overhear what? Elrilla slaps the face palm. She said, "Before you say anything else that might irritate nature or any citizen around us."
Come on, then. Time's a wasting.
I mean, I could take that up and do it for you if you want.
Elrilla looks at you, Sai looks at you, and says, "No." We have a camera cut, and you guys are walking out down this big tree that's been growing to be a ramp. And you guys start heading north to Elzorgaseps. A couple days pass, specifically 2. And, I didn't think you'd join us.
Welcome.
Hi, kids.
Hey.
Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you guys.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to show up. You're on.
Your audio quality just dropped.
Make do.
Mine did or his?
His.
Oh.
Really? What? Oh, maybe because she's talking. How about now?
Oh, it's back.
Yeah, it's because overlapping dialogue. That's all. Okay, so just a brief catch up. So, for your character, Lydia.
You made a blood forest thing and pissed off the forest.
Well, no, she
Yeah,
knew that.
yeah. That's hard to forget.
So basically, a quick. Where the fuck did it go? There it is. So rolling back just a bit. Yeah. So the things you've missed is right after you guys fought the what was referred to as Nasha. Turns out Hamari decided to brag about killing a avatar of Ashura, or at least avatar of Nasha, to Ashura priests, and that caused a huge pariah to happen. You have discovered, thanks to Elrilla, that there are legends that there are at least 6 way lines in this area, which your character would have known about their existence. Liam, I don't think you openly told people you talked with Ashura, did you?
Nope, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Need to know basis.
Yep.
I avoid talking at all since the force is apparently listening.
Right. Is it safe to say that your characters maybe said that a couple times offhandedly? Like, careful what you say, the force could be listening or something like that?
After my meeting with Ashra, I will definitely mention that if people start mentioning sensitive topics.
Yeah, so I have to imagine at some point... Actually, yes. Because of what happened, you specifically probably would have told Yuka, don't ever say her name ever again, use this name. And then it's probably like a back and forth of, explain to her you meant Hisra.
Yep. The name was already mentioned once, and the only person listening at the moment is probably Ashra, who already knows.
Right. So a couple things while I was playing your character is that you now have a staff of the Traveler again, which just happened.
It's not made of bloodwood.
It's not made of bloodwood.
Probably, definitely.
Definitely not. Some minor... I'm trying to think specifically if there's anything I made your character do.
All our characters right now are playing Risk of Rain. As time goes on, the storm's only going to get worse. People here don't like us, and that's only going to increase over time.
Sounds about right.
The forest doesn't like us. The people doesn't like us. We're at Thunderstorm. We don't want to get to ha ha ha.
Yeah, and apparently the only person that does seem to like you, nobody else knows about.
Oh.
Let's try to see. Avrilla mentioned that the Waylines has something to do with the elemental gods and legend, which you didn't know about. Apparently there's some legend that during the creation of the Waylines, each, if not all of the elemental gods, the deities, were present. Trying to think. I don't think I made your character say anything or commit to anything that wasn't out of character, out of sync. Just trying to think if there's anything.
Does she know about that time we met those steeds of Slaanesh?
Yeah, she knows about that.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Slaanesh, you Hamari brought a bard back to the camp, and he played nice songs and stuff like that. It was a very enjoyable night. And you were feeling sleepy, so you had to go lay down. And at some point in the night, you were woken up briefly to the sounds of what would only be described as a person at the edge of pain and agony with very small, either quizzitive or demurring comments from Himari on and off through the night, and eventually you ended up casting a what is it called?
Silence.
The prestidigitation version of nature, that Planetcraft, Druidcraft, to basically silence the sounds around you for a short amount of time until you get back to sleep.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've made more concessions with Side than your character. Can either of you think of anything I made Yuka say or do that seemed like a bit important?
Nah.
No, I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all been offhand stuff, so. Oh, I guess the one thing would be is you were specifically asked, what is the deal with the not Blood Force blue thing that you summon, and you don't have memory of it. Creating it just was there, and you know that at one point both of the Blood Forest and this other entity were one thing, and your cult that you were growing up in believed that they could be one again, and you weren't really sure why that was important.
Okay.
That's it. But yeah, I think that's it. Both Liam and Himari leveled up last session.
The only thing I got from my level up was health and destroy undead CR3.
Oh. Well, I'll be sure to send undead your way.
Please don't.
Okay, I won't. Okay, so yeah, currently your character, while the party was crossing through this town hoping that they could get ahead of the rumors that Hamari so graciously started.
It's not rumors if it's true.
Yeah, while you guys were crossing through town, you got a little distracted by a shiny thing and realized that there was a staff seller, and they procured magical, naturally enhanced items. So you can add a Staff the Traveler back to your inventory.
Are we still there?
Technically, yes. You just picked her up.
Perfect. If there's a salesman, I want to see if they have the focus I'm looking for.
Sure. What's the focus you're looking for?
A forked rod attuned to our world, worth 500 gold.
Not this shop, but you ask around, and you do find a alchemist, who basically tells you flat out, like, that's a really unique thing you need.
I probably made a marble.
Nah, it is. I have two. One I use. The other's a backup. I'd be willing to give it to you for, let's say, 850.
750.
Roll me a persuade. I'm gonna grab water real quick.
No, you're not allowed to get water.
Fuck you! Nothing quite like drinking super chilled water.
Nope, lukewarm water for me.
Hate lukewarm water. Despise.
Love. Best for your tum-tum.
You know what hot water is.
Mm-mm. Hot water burns your insides.
Well, you don't need to drink boiling water, but hotter liquids, I think, absorb in your intestinal tract and body faster.
Hence the lukewarm water.
Lukewarm is not hot.
It's warmer than cold.
Andrew, you said how much?
750.
EC was 17. So
Hey,
is that
factor of 2.
is persuasion checked for you?
Yes.
Really? With a
Yup.
6?
Yup.
God damn. Okay. You said 700?
750.
750. I think what ends up happening is you talk to the guy for a little bit, right? You don't say 750, right? You just talk with him a bit and notice a couple things. You notice that he has one of your factors is that he has a is there another spell component that you use often or might use often enough, or something that you've been like, man, I probably should get another set of that?
Not really, since most of the time the only focus I need is is my holy symbol.
No. Not focus. Like component, like diamond dust or something like that.
Well, I always need more diamond dust, of course.
Okay. So we'll say
Diamond.
while you're talking,
The diamond dust I have, or as a lump value.
right? Because it's how much?
It depends on what spell I'm casting. There are a few spells that require diamond dust.
Okay, what's your highest level one? How much does it use?
Highest level one is Resurrection, and I think it's 1,000 gold per level of the character I am resurrecting.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, so you get to talking and you happen to notice that, and you talk about what he uses it for, and he says, "Oh, I use it for lining certain vessels to actually get better accompaniment with it." There's actually a pretty lucrative diamond, like crystalline cavern that lies to the west, and he says, you can actually pick up diamond dust pretty cheap. So, he gives you that bit of information. That's one factor. And the other factor is, as you guys are talking about, you start talking about the sea, and he talks about how his father was actually a fisherman, and that he swears up and down that he got a fish this big. But yeah, you shoot the shit for a while, and eventually you say, what about 750? And he looks at you, says, I mean, you just seem like a random stranger, and if I could milk you for a little bit more money, I was going to. I'll give it to you for 700.
Hey, well, much appreciated.
He nods. He says, don't take any offense to it, but when you see, your type of, obviously Travers around tend to have tons of gold. If they need something that badly, they'll buy it. But for my locals, I'll usually sell it to them cheaper. But,
that's fair. What do you use yours for exactly? If you don't mind me asking.
There's a particular type of healing potion that is common in this part. It is non-bitter, it's smoother, and it applies faster. It requires it to be sunk into the cauldron while the spell is being cast to create it. The alignment with the earth makes it lose all of those negative components, and funnily enough, gives it this very floral smell to it.
Interesting.
Would you be interested?
Not at the moment.
Alright.
Appreciate the offer, though. Kind of in a hurry.
Understand. Well, you seem to have interest in the diamond dust. Just remember, to the west, you could buy it real cheap.
Gotcha.
Specifically,
Any name in particular?
you say what, Andrew?
Any settlement name in particular?
Yeah, just north of Provision.
Aye, understood.
Town's known for it.
I'll put that down in my trades book notes.
Okay. Yeah, so you head on out. You got your focus. Sai is currently feeding Eagle, and Arilla says, "Did you get the focus you're looking for?"
Aye, I did.
Cool.
Now all I need to do is hear Talos' voice again, and I should be able to transport anywhere.
Anywhere.
Well,
Oh, God, I'm more of this magical travel.
anywhere I know the name of, anyways. Even better if I know the circle sequence.
What's the negative if you don't know the circle sequence?
Well, you end up somewhere near it. Assuming you got the name right.
By near it, do you mean feet on the ground or in the sky?
Yes.
Good. So we're sending Himari through it first, correct?
How about no?
It's not really a gate. Either we all go at once or we don't.
Ah,
Or just I go.
okay. Good to know. Well, let's move. And Eagle crunches down on like some thick bug as its juice squirts out of its mouth. And Sai says, yeah, we done screwing around before, the hate mob comes chasing after us.
Yep, got what I needed. Let's move on.
Okay. So yeah, you guys move on through Casti Guinness, and you make your way north to Okerseps. And it takes about 2 days to get there. There is an outer city, which is known as Plavin, but it's very... Usually people just refer to the whole area as Okerseps, but Plavin is a small, merchant town. Basically, like where the main gate is, there's this well-built-up area of rich people, Plavin, and then just outside of it is farmlands and poor people. Poor being just like, you have a bunch of like adobe and adobe and straw huts that are of like farmers and the lesser folk in here, or the people who prefer to have a simpler lifestyle, which tends to be the more common thing in Elven societies. People seek out the simpler lifestyle. So there's a lot of farmers. And as you guys come up to Pavlin, you find a interesting sight. So out front, there is leading into this place is actually a small amphitheater that kind of is like the spearhead to this location. And they're performing a play. And as you guys are walking around the amphitheater, you can, hear what's going on in Elvish. Does anyone besides Arilla speak Elvish?
Ooh.
You telling me the elf speaks Elvish?
Hell yes. I had to double check because I wasn't sure if I dropped it in favor of Sylvan.
I don't think I could have allowed you to do that.
It sounds like something I would have fucked up in the beginning.
Well, speaking of fucked up at the beginning, Sylvan isn't the language of small animals, it's the language of fey creatures.
Hey, still valid. We're still going to keep it.
I thought you knew that.
It's
but
fine.
just modified it so she can talk to small animals using it.
I'm still allowing
Yeah, it was something like that, and then I just kept misconstruing it because I don't understand D&D that well.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fair.
I don't really care. It's fine if you haven't. But so there is a play running, and only you and Elrilla can understand it. And essentially, you're coming up on a point in the play where it talks about, a deep, dark shadow looming underneath the earth, and it coming up with a radiant light to send its light upon the entirety of the civilizations above, to show them how important shadows are, because in this world above they know not what shadows are. So they were given a new light that could ray upon the shadows and bring a new understanding to the world above. The folks became scared, and then they fled underground, leaving this planet empty on top. And as you guys are walking by, you kind of hear the next scene start up, where they talk about a person on the top ground or the lower ground falling in love, and finding that they're very compatible while dealing with... It's basically just Romeo and Juliet story, but just different.
Hell yeah.
And as they go to the next act, it starts becoming harder and harder to hear. And eventually, you guys make your way into Paladin. I think Paladin, yeah. And so along this strip, there's many elven structures. It looks like one appears to be a large oak that kind of almost overtakes the entirety of Palvin's sky, depending on where you're standing, with how big the trees are. It's just one business, and that appears to be a song spell, like college. And you can see like how big the oak is, that there's multiple stories to it, and appears to have multiple buildings hanging from it. And at some point, as you guys are walking underneath this tree, someone jumps out from below one of them, and then there are 3 other people that follow, and they use these unique hand gliders to glide down to the ground. And the first one who lands appears to be a much older elf, and you notice the other 3 that follow are small children, and the first 2 land fairly all right, and then the third slams into a water barrel, tipping it over and hitting a small group of people who are sitting there eating at a restaurant. As you guys pass by, you hear all sorts of chatter. Yuka, you pick up some just general, normal everyday chatter of just people living their life. You do pick up that apparently that there's some great event that is going to be happening in a month or so, like some, fantastical celebration. Has something to do with the queen and her partner, something like that. You couldn't quite catch all of it.
Okay.
As you continue, you guys find that in the quote unquote lower city there appears to be a library. Arilla says, "Hey, I think you guys have Azragoth handled. I don't think I need to come along."
Not sure that's the library you're looking for.
Right.
No, no. Let him discover.
Her, Dick.
Her.
Can't see people.
Look,
can't see together.
Yeah, look, you all look the same to me. All right.
And then she's like, you fucking, and like Brookside grabs her, says, "All right, Elra, let's go look at the library."
The one you're looking for is the higher library. You're not going to find what you're looking for there.
She said, "I'm going to check out this place first. I'll find a way in if I have to."
All right, suit yourself.
Mm-hmm. And Sai says, "Well, I'm going to wait for the high library." So yeah, you guys continue on your approach.
Yep.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
As you guys eventually make it up to the gate, and so you're supposed to meet someone here, Andrew.
Yep. Hey, let me take the lead.
Sai looks at you, says, "What are you planning on doing? Boring them to death about sea shanties and how to, tie a knot?"
Something like that, sure.
You're serious?
Aye.
If it works, it works.
The other day I found us a way in. Just let me do the talking.
I mean, you're not exactly native here. Do you even know Elvish?
No, but I know someone really important. We exchanged information, and she promised a favor in return.
Oh my god, she gave you her number?
Yeah, probably know her better than most here.
Sai looks at you and starts squinting his eyes. "Liam, when did you have time to do this?"
You guys
Time
also
is a
squinting.
frivolous thing, isn't it?
I don't like it when you're suspicious. Eagle pecks Sai's
Yeah.
neck.
One into the high city or not?
Yuka shrugs. So be it. This might be our best option.
I could just start stabbing people.
No, that's
Please
not.
don't do that.
Hi, Mari, please don't.
Well, you see, we can get arrested and go to the jail in the high city, and then we can break out, and then we're there.
Oh, hell no.
Amari, what happens if they
What's
don't
this we?
let poor people? Sai cuts. He's like, "Amari, do you really think that they allow poor people up in the better prison?"
The better prison?
Oh, you got to be kidding me. There has to be a fancy hoity-toity prison in there. Come on, Amari. There's one for the poor people, plebs, and then one for the highborn people.
Yuka scratches her chin. Well,
So that
a
means
porpoism would be
Sai.
easier to break out of.
Look,
I'd rather not.
okay, look, this is just a joke. Okay, Liam, please do the talking.
Aye.
So, Liam, do you let them follow, or do you tell them to wait there?
I tell them to follow.
Sai rolls his eyes. Fine.
Follow
Yes,
if you want, or don't. I care not.
You probably need a translator. Yuka follows along anyway.
You need a translator just as much as you need a thaumaturge or a fucking assassin.
I mean, exactly.
Or like
You
a
know, and
street
the
magician at
translator
this point.
being the psycho druid from like an outcast tribe.
No offense, Yuka, but I'm less talking about the translation thing. I just think Liam's full of shit and he's about to waste our time.
That's fair. Let's go though. We'll have fun.
Yeah, so you continue on. Liam, you look for.
Kotaro.
Remember her name?
Kotaro.
Yep. You see, and you're just like looking at around the main gate, and you eventually see a Ashra priestess in some really fine robes sitting on a bench, kind of farish away from the main gate, kind of sitting with her back turned to you.
I approach and I just say the name Katara.
She doesn't respond.
I walk around in front to get her attention.
Hey, you see like a really old, wizened elf, like 500 or 700 years old, and she's just like sleeping.
Maybe she's deaf.
Sai looks at you, at the woman, at you, at the woman. Well,
Miss Yuka, would it be against cultural norms if I were to try to wake this woman?
I don't think Yuka would know.
I wouldn't know, but I would certainly not advise it.
All right, then I guess we wait.
I mean, I can do it. I don't care.
Sure. Up to you.
Hey, Mari, please. I don't want to get in trouble.
Mari, how are you waking this elder woman?
What was her name again? Katara?
Yeah. Oh, Tara.
I'm gonna,
Or
I'm gonna approach her, get kind of like hunched over, my hands on like my hips, leaning over. Guitar! And just literally just yell her name at her.
Yuka flinches. Ah, god damn it.
Eagle just fucking it's like freaks out. And you see the older woman like This snaps her mouth a couple times and like opens her eyes and stretches.
Have a good night.
When did lizards start walking around?
I have the same question, Yuka says through gritted teeth.
Does she say that in common?
Yeah, she does.
Uh-oh.
Hi, there we go. Liam, introduce yourself.
Aye, would you be Miss Kotara by chance?
That I am.
Your
lady.
Aye. So I already know.
The lady of the wood has talked about you. So has the other. I've heard good and bad things, all.
Aye, we're a mixed bunch for sure.
You want into the upper city.
Aye, we've business up there.
She kind of gets up to her feet, wobbles a little bit, and says, all right, simple enough. Follow me.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
Yuka just kind of looks at Liam, just slack-jawed.
Sai, slows down a bit to get beside you, Liam, and asks, hey, I didn't know you were into cougars.
What does that even mean?
He looks at you, he's like, really?
You're talking to the animal,
lions?
right?
And Sai turns to you, really? It's fucked up. It's like he goes back to his position again. So you're following her, and you guys get up to the gate. She's walking fairly spryful for her age, but slower than maybe you would like. When it comes up to the gate, there is these, big, ornate, beautiful pearl white logs that reach in the sky, and they have their own trees attached to them. And there's this arch, and there appears to be these stone palisades that can be dropped down and raised. And she approaches one of the guards, and she speaks something in Elvish. Yuka, you hear this as, these are my friends, and they want to go to the High Library with me today. Is that okay, William? And then the guard says, always okay with me, Kotara. And he pats her shoulder, and she smiles and nods, and she waves there would be, the four of you on now? Yuka. Yeah, the four of you on.
Me. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, you walk a little bit in the upper city, and then she guides you to another small garden patch and sits down. And she says, well, I believe I've filled my duty to the Lady of the Wood. You are now in the upper city, young man.
All right. Are we still allowed to be here, or?
Of course. If you got past the gates, most people don't wink an eye. Just don't do anything too brutish.
I look to Himari.
Silence to Himari.
We all look to Himari.
No promises, but we'll try our best.
You take care of your lizard pet now. Make sure she gets lots of sun.
Yuka smiles, a big fat grin. We will.
We'll find a good Baskin rock for her.
In my culture, I was taught to respect my elders.
Yuka just looks offended, just abashed.
By the way, you wouldn't happen to know where we could find Mr. Azragoth, would you?
Oh my. Oh, Liam. I don't make everything so easy, do I?
That's fair.
She looks at you in a particular way. Can you give me an insight check?
Did you just say I don't make things easy?
Yeah, she did.
Hermione's gonna get down on her hands and knees, kind of really look at her.
Wait.
Uncomfortably
You were just called a pet. You're gonna get down on their hands and knees.
No, not not on my hands and knees, you bend over, you have your hands on your hips, on your knees, and you're really looking at something.
Oh, okay. I think I know who this is.
So yeah, it's 14. Do you have insight checked?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. There's a certain.
This is an avatar of Ashra.
It is. Himari, you definitely pick up something that wasn't there before. Can't quite put your finger on it though.
Hey, well.
Uh-huh. The only other one that talked to me like that was the thing I killed in the inn.
Please don't kill this one. We don't need the entire woods against us.
You mistake me, Himari. Ashura. Nasha. 2 syllables. 1 syllable. She nods sagely, and all of a sudden she turns into a and she was on a little bench sitting next to a bush. She turns into the same bush-like leaves and envelops into it and sighs what the fuck?
Yuka's just mesmerized.
Himari's still just got that squinting gaze, hands on hips type of thing. Just points at it. This is why we don't fucking trust deities and demigods and all this bullshit.
She did get us into the city, didn't she?
Yeah, why?
Why do you think? We're looking for Mr. Azragoth.
It's not going to do anything unless there's something in for him or it or whatever, and it's grand scheme of things.
You hear a gentle hee-hee on the wind.
Would I be able to tell whether this is like druid craft or something?
Oh, this is hot. Like I
Or is
figured
this
you would
like high elf magic?
This is Ashura. Like this is high druid, like
Oh, okay. Okay.
deitific. Yeah. You've heard of
I'm glad I would
Ashura.
be able to recognize it.
Yeah, Ashura and Nasha are like two beings that, at least from your culture, think they're intertwined and kind of one is the body of the forest and one is the soul of the forest. Ashura is the soul, Nasha is the body. But yeah. What Liam and what just was said, if that was Ashura, then it's like druidic, deific power.
Okay. But like, long story short, I would be able to recognize the power and like the strength of the power, and it would be
Yeah.
reasonable that Yuka is like in awe of this.
Yeah, like she did a minor trick, but the power is still there. Like you could fade into a bush if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I'd have to use what, like a 9th level spell?
Don't think so.
I was gonna say, I think that there is one that's like a 4th or 5th level spell.
You're thinking of tree walk, which is where you can teleport from one tree to another by walking through it.
No, there is no the spell that's in the staff of the traveler or whatever. You can turn into a tree or a shrub, and you're immune to being hit.
Right. This is different, but I can see where.
But yeah, it's like for me, it's powerful magic. For her, it's just a minor trick.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so y'all are standing there in this garden in the high city.
Mario's yelling at a bush.
Yeah, Sai comes up to you, Hamari, and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Don't act brutish."
Please don't act brutish.
Look, if a knife isn't out, I'm not brutish yet.
I think we need to get you some interpersonal communication classes when we get back to the Enlightened Ember, Hamari.
Can we move on before she loses her patience?
Oh, I thought she's already there. That's why I was just fucking with her. Anyway, let's go. And yeah, so where do you guys want to go? You're in the high city. You don't know specifically where Azragoth is.
So I would mention.
We know he teaches. Like,
yeah, he does.
Song.
Okay. So Yuka would mention the brief conversation she heard in passing on the streets that the queen is holding, what was it, like some sort of party or something with her partner?
In a month. Yeah.
In a month.
A month?
I would mention that if it's relevant and figure maybe we could go searching relating to queenly business.
Probably why Azragoth is here.
Well, you remember Cora telling you that they had something personal for a while.
Yep, and Ashram mentioned that he was here, indeed, with the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So it tracks.
Which you know her name is Nezragona.
Nestargona?
Nezragona.
Okay, so the T is silent.
Yeah.
Nezragonads.
God damn it.
You're welcome.
What are you guys looking for? These nuts?
Just like the second eye, and Nyracora is silent.
Stop. Yeah.
Lucille, stop breaking things. Thank you.
I suppose we go to the. Suppose we could try going to the college, see if he's there, see if he's around, if they'll let us in.
Sai shrugs. He says, "I don't know. I want to go to the library."
Oh, there it is.
Where's what?
I don't know. Well, I'm just trying to get rid of you.
Thanks, Amari. I appreciate you wanting to get rid of me.
Honestly, it was a funny joke.
It was a joke?
Yeah, who's joking?
Wow.
At least he understands. You know what? As much as I hate this guy, at least he understands me better than all you put together.
Wait, me?
Yeah, you.
You're stupid.
The one who said that was a joke.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Obviously, we don't get sarcasm in my culture.
I'm going to go and try to find where Azragoth is teaching.
That is fair and valid.
What do you do, Liam? Do you want to follow along?
Yep, I'll follow along.
Alright, Sai says, you know what? I'm gonna go see if I can find that library by myself.
Alright, wish you luck.
Ooh.
Don't do anything stupid, please.
That wasn't my plan. I planned on doing something intelligent at a library, Liam, which is what I suggest once in a while. You do!
Yuka's kind of torn between who to go with. But then she's like, well, honestly, the library sounds boring. All right, Hamari, let's go.
Yeah,
you hear Sai,
nerds.
like, yeah, you hear Sai yell as you kind of get away. It's like, what? You ever read a book?
Nerd.
Yuka just giggles. I have never read a book. I like the pictures.
I can't read.
You fucking illiterate dirty man. To get away. He doesn't swear. Sai doesn't swear, but yeah. So you guys head off. Go ahead. Why do you roll me a 1d6? The high
Wait,
city.
who?
Any one of you.
Did you say Lydia or anyone?
I said anyone.
Oh, I just heard somebody else's roll bloop.
2. So it takes you 2 hours to find this thing.
Oh, thank God you went with his.
I'm just joking. It'll take you 5. Yeah.
God damn it.
2 days.
So it's a little further in the day. You know, roughly like 4 or 5 p.m. When the three of you, find the college. Because this place is fairly big and it's made with nature in mind, so it looks like it was built on the side of a large cliff, and it kind of spirals all over the damn place, and it looks like they were unwilling to like carve into things very rarely, so there's a whole lot of just random streets and curvy. It's really fucking like crazy. It's like some of downtown St. Cloud's roads are just kind of fucking all over the place.
Oh, God.
But,
it just gave me flashbacks.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you eventually find it, and out front you hear, you see, a mix of people practicing different things. There's a small little child's play going on. There's a instrument band going on across the street. You see picnic tables set up here and there that appear to be druid crafted. Like you can't make wood this seamless, and people are sitting at them eating and drinking and having a good time. It's mostly elves. There appears to be a very small mix of hill dwarfs and humans, but for the most part, it is entirely all wood elves.
And
yeah,
Man, I hate wood elves. Sorry, continue.
Char lizard. Anyway.
No.
Yeah. So.
Fucking salamanders out of the work.
Yeah. So you guys find the college. What do you
do? Lydia, you're going to be probably the only one that speaks the current language here.
That's a safe assumption. Would I be able to hear any like passing conversations regarding because would Azragoth still be going by his name while teaching?
As far as you guys can tell, yeah.
Oh, okay. So would I happen to hear any like passing conversations about him?
Give me a perception check, and you're looking for a DC 24 to pick out all of the people here that are talking and singing and doing stuff.
All right, fuck me sideways then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's just too much din of noise and stuff, and actually, I think the problem is you keep hearing his name off and on, but it's more kind of offhandedly said, like talking about like, either politics or drama or just off, like it's too much information and none of it's really useful. Yeah.
Would I be able to turn into a small animal?
To answer your question, yes. Sound like there's more of a lead to on that, so that's why I waited.
Because I'm trying to see if like I have an animal already like saved in here that has like keen hearing? A wolf, but that's not really a small animal. Fuck, I was hoping the bobcat had keen hearing.
So you could do a fox.
Does the fox have keen hearing?
Yep. All canids in D&D have keen hearing.
Oh, fuck yes. All right. So probably no need to give me the sheet for it, but could I turn into a fox? And
Are you telling the party that you're doing this or why you're doing this?
I will, but I just want to say that I want to turn into a fox so I can be able to kind of like mingle and wander in with people more closely. I want like a rope collar around my neck so it looks like I'm somebody's pet and I'm just wandering around looking for handouts or something.
Are you sure you want that in a society of druids?
I wouldn't call them a society of druids.
There are a lot of druids here.
Oh, god damn it.
So maybe ditch the collar.
Does anybody else have any better ideas?
Maybe ditch the collar and you'd be good.
I mean, that's fair. It might blend in with something. Anyway, does anyone have any better suggestions?
I would have just suggested walking up to the clerk and the college, seeing if they know something. Anyone know any songs that Mr. Azragoth had composed? Don't suppose you'd know that, Yuka?
Oh, God damn it, I've been muted again.
Most likely not.
That song, that
Ocean's Deep.
Yeah, Ocean's Deep.
Pretend to be interested in that. Ask the clerk about it. See if they know the composer.
Could we just like, go up to somebody and say, hey, you know where Azragoth is?
Well, if it's the college.
I mean, we could.
If you want to, sure.
I mean, my idea is to kidnap somebody and interrogate them, so...
how about we don't do that?
Yeah, that's why I'm
You could just...
quiet.
You could just size at that. Oh, I was just about to grab the nearest person just to prevent Himari from kidnapping someone and say, hey, do you happen to know who Azragoth is? Or where he would be at this moment?
You just ask some random person or the clerk?
I would just absolutely ask a random person, because I imagine that we're like a good several feet away from the clerk, but there's probably some random elf walking past at this exact moment when Himari and Liam were having their very brief discussion about not kidnapping people.
Yeah, so this random person, let's just go ahead and do this accent.
Thank you, good sir.
Like, what? Azragoth? Yeah, he's like around. Oh man, like he's always around. He's around here all the time.
Whatever you are on, tell me your dealer immediately.
I was gonna say, would he say this in common or would he say this in Elvish?
He's saying in Elvish.
Okay. So obviously I would only understand him.
That's what I'm waiting, man.
Okay, but like, bro, dude, listen. But like, where would he be at, like, right now, bro?
Right now? I don't know. Like, around, man.
Where is his office?
His office?
I imagine he would have some sort of like office or study or something at the college.
Man, I think like he's got offices everywhere. Like he likes to like office around.
Yuka pats the kind young gentleman on the back. Thank you so much for your assistance today. You have been a wonderful help.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I could be a help. Good luck. And just like wanders off.
As he wanders off, Yuka kind of like brushes past her nose a little bit, like waving the breeze on past because there was a certain stench around that young man.
No.
Anyway.
Everyone smells like weed around here.
Exactly, just the whole campus.
It's like pipe tobacco for these people. That dude, I just happened to be like, yeah.
He was just particularly stinky.
Hotboxing.
Exactly.
Remind me, I gotta pick up a box of that stuff.
Trust me, you don't want it. To the clerk it is.
Yeah, so do you walk into the college?
Yes.
If they let us, sure.
There's a line. Well, so here's the thing. There's like
okay.
there's elven signs, and you have to basically point out to the people there because the high city really isn't for outsiders, so everything's in Elvish. There's also a weird lit to all of the Elvish signs, by the way. Like, there's like when you're reading it, there's kind of some weird, funny extra words or weird lilts into some of the phrasing. Like, it's definitely like you've never been over here. Like, you've never been in the high city before, Volker says.
It's like some weird shit like, to ye the nary nay over yonder, like,
It's
when it could have
more
just said turn left.
It's more like the difference between, like, Southern Yales and fucking London. Like, you're campy.
Oh.
Like, they're
So you mean like that Southern drawl from them Southern Belles from Louisiana?
The opposite. All the other people are talking Southern drawl. These people are talking like BBC.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Like, there's like a bunch of...
What, mate?
I have a Southern drawl as Yuka. Everybody else is like speaking the Queen's English.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
So...
Which is kind of funny because the Southern drawl is probably the closest accent you can get to actual older English.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, so so there's a line. There's basically an entrance for students, and there's an entrance for others. So when you go to the others, there's a line. There's one hill dwarf in front of you, and the rest are all elves.
How long is this? Oh, is it a long line, or is it like 3 or 4 people, or is it like 50 people?
It's like 13 people.
Oh, okay. Yuka would sigh, loosely translate, like, the difference between the two signs and say, well, I guess we're waiting here for a while.
Oh. Hamari can appreciate the bureaucracy.
Like a fine wine.
Damn it!
I mean, I'm sure there is wine on this campus.
I'm sure there's more than wine. Infused wine.
Well, if you really want some, I'm sure I can find it for you.
Salmon?
Hey, maybe later. I'm on a job.
Yeah, you got to stand in line here with us since you're the only one that can talk.
Exactly. But yes, we could find some fun herbal infused wines later.
Are there any forms we need to fill out or anything like that?
Game of liar's dice.
I'm not sure. I've never been here before.
Nah, they
I don't see any signs that indicate forms.
I gotta stand in line without filling out a form?
Yeah, you'll find out in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not in the VA. Oh my god.
Oh. Hamari gets this face like she just drank some expired milk.
Yeah.
Like she just drank my herbal concoction to avoid teleportation sickness.
Yeah, like, oh god.
Yeah, so
I was expecting a nice little treat in the forest, and I get this.
But yeah, you guys are standing in line for about an hour, and you finally get to the front of the line, and what are you going to ask the clerk?
We are looking for Azragoth, if he is available.
The thin, slender man just like looks at you like, excuse you? You want Azragoth's time?
Again, if possible, we don't mean to impose.
I mean, are you foreigners?
You could say that. Yuka says somewhat uncomfortably, glancing behind her at the lizard person and the sailor.
Mari waves.
I adjust my hat.
Lucille, stop beating up your sister. Thank you.
It took me a moment to realize that wasn't in game.
I'm so sorry. This is the one time I've decided to not use push to talk, and of course it's the day my cats decide to be assholes.
I actually don't hear any of them.
Yeah, because Lucille was pretty close to Liam.
Oh my god, yes.
Anyway, so
no, Liam, your name is Lucy now.
He looks at you. He's like, so people, who are you?
Can we tell that this is going good or not?
Say that again?
Oh, you can tell.
Can I tell if
You
like
can
this
tell
conversation
this is not going
good?
well.
Give me an insight check at disadvantage and say DC 14.
20.
It's yeah. Yeah, you could definitely tell that this is immediately not going well.
You can tell that Yuka is definitely like flushed cheeks, sweating a little bit.
I mean, you could tell him we have a message for Azargoth, and we technically do. Actually, it's not even technically. We actually have a message for him.
Yep.
Actually, exactly. Yuka's eyes immediately go from being super stressed out to being like bright, as if she just remembered something like with her entire life.
The guy looks a little taken aback, like, oh fuck, this is psychopath.
This is fine, everything's fine. The voices are telling me it's fine. Anyway, Yuka then like stutters, oh, that's right. My apologies. We do have a message for Azragoth. A very important one, I might add.
Sure. You can deliver that message to me and I'll get it to him.
It needs to be delivered personally.
Give me a persuasion check at disadvantage. DC...
Fuck me sideways.
20?
Nope. Yeah. Adam plus 2? No.
Yeah, guidance isn't going to help that.
I was going to say, like, Yuka would very briefly relay this to mostly Haimari, but kind of to Liam if he's within earshot. Like, look, he won't let me, like, won't let us go in there for the message. Like, what? Do you have any other ideas?
Ask for a piece of parchment and a quill or something.
Okay. I would relay that to the cleric.
He looks even more fucking uncomfortable, like, who the fuck is this person? And says, that will be 1 gold and 5 silver, please.
Absolutely. Just tosses him the fucking coins. Well, not tosses, but politely, delicately hands him them.
Right, take that out of your sheet. Yeah, so, Hamari, you were given the most ample, like, best feeling paper you've ever held in your entire life, with the best, like, quality fountain pen, and the ink on it is exquisite.
I'm keeping this.
Bitch, write your message down.
These people are into machine printed paper?
All right, well,
I was gonna say, it's literally paper made of phoenix down.
It's literally them, like, singing paper out of trees.
On the piece of parchment, I'm going to write, your little birdie has flown the coop and she wants to return. And I am going to sign it.
Because honestly, I figured that the message was going to be better coming from, a fellow Dragonborn versus some random druid.
Yeah.
Right.
Depends on your version, how you define better.
Do you hand that? Sorry, give me a second, Liam. Do you hand that paper back to Yuka or just hand it directly to clerk?
I'm gonna hand it to the clerk, I guess.
Okay, Liam, what was that? Andrew? I'm guessing he said something like,
and he's gone. Probably.
Okay.
Liam's just staring off in space.
Yeah. So you hand him the paper, and he looks to you and opens it up, sees this in common, and says, might I inquire what the message says? And he tries in, like, really rough common.
At this point, Yuka would just go back to,
in very
Elvish?
slow common, and Mari's just gonna say, no.
No.
Anyway, Yuka would say in Elvish that it's just a very personal and private message.
He wraps up, he says, I will get it to him within 3 to 4 weeks.
Hours.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yuka just lightly bows her head. Thank you so much for your kindness and your consideration today, and especially for your patience.
He looks at you, like, again, his shoulder blades are aligned with his head as he's leaning his head back, like, ugh. Yes, most certainly. Are you just all standing there, or do you leave?
I would start walking away. I guess it's up to everybody else whether they want to awkwardly continue a conversation in broken common.
Where are you going?
Well, we don't have an audience with him. He's going to take the message to him at his soonest convenience.
Okay, well, then that shouldn't be too long.
Well, Yuka kind of like makes a hand motion, like, come over here, so I can whisper out of his earshot.
Liam, stay by place in line.
Oh my lord.
Thanks, buddy.
Anyway, the world's quietest whispering that Yuka can possibly muster. He said not for like 3 to 4 weeks. Do we want to like follow him? I don't know. That's what he said. Hi, Mari. You can't kill people here. That's a crime.
Can't and shouldn't are two different words.
That
cannot.
People.
Exactly.
Did you try bribing him to get the message there sooner?
Yuka realizes that she has a fuckload of gold in her pockets. I mean, I could have.
I mean, it might have to be a fuckload considering how nice this paper and pen are.
Okay, 1. I did not say I would be right back. I said you should write it on High Dresra. 2.
Well, then where did you disappear to?
We should probably figure out a base of operations. 3, all we need to do is get within eyesight of him. And whoever he sees should probably adorn themselves with those trinkets Miss Irakora gave us.
The pendant.
Pendant, the bracelet, the whatever.
Yeah.
The things and the stuff.
Oh, I was just trying to get his attention because he'll know who I am and what I do.
Aye, which is why I'm thinking someone else should probably do this.
No, this instills a sense of urgency.
If he's at all urgent about the enlightened ember.
No, he'll be more urgent about the assassin talking about his daughter.
You're an assassin, then. That's for certain. You hear sighs scream in the distance. I told you.
Yes,
like,
that's my day job.
Okay.
Well, at least we have that squared away.
Considering how easily Ayakora recognized me, pretty sure Azergoth would recognize me too.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
He'll recognize us and be urgent.
Again, urgent good or urgent bad?
We'll find out.
All right, bribery it is then.
If you want me,
so we can stop holding up the line.
If you want me to, I could play the asshole bounty hunter.
I do not follow.
Well, exactly what?
An asshole. We'll talk later. Let's get out of line.
Okay. Anyway, Yuka very subtly presents a small bribe of like 75 gold and says, please, today if you can.
He looks down at the money and looks up at you. He says, do what?
The message.
Oh.
Please have it sent today.
Huh.
Yuka starts rustling around in her coin purse, grabs another 25 gold, slaps it down. Within the hour.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And is just staring the man dead in the eyes.
Give me a persuasion check. DC 14.
Okay.
Remember, you could use your inspiration on your character sheet if you have any.
You are not getting guidance.
I don't think I have inspiration. Fuck me. And if I have it marked on my sheet, I don't have it.
Sheet?
I swear to fucking God. Yeah, on the XP sheet. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The XP sheet says 0. If for some reason I had it on my character sheet, which I don't, it was also technically 0. So I've literally just been going off whatever the XP sheet says.
Yep, that's what you want to do. Okay.
Well, I done diddled.
Guidance won't help with that.
Hey, so while she's in prison, we're going to find Azragoth.
Yeah, no, they're not above bribes. Just he looks down at the money, looks at you, he says, expediting a package costs 300 gold.
Damn it, I only have 264 on me right now. The rest of my gold is in fucking size bag of holding. Motherfucker. Ugh, he did this on purpose, didn't you, Ben?
Kinda.
Ugh.
Maybe your party mates have more money.
There can't be any more money that's within easy reach. You hear jingling from your other two fucking party members.
Actually, honestly, do we have another whatever the fuck turns 264 gold into 300 gold? Because I don't know how to do math.
I mean, each person could give up 100 gold.
Valid. Is this agreeable terms to everybody in the party so far?
Aye, sure.
Yeah.
There is one other option.
Oh,
Stabbing.
Oh? Poor K.
Please do not stab or threaten people. We're paying gold. We're paying gold.
No,
the gold is fine. I can lose gold. I can pay you back the gold once we get to Sai.
Hang on. Stump's probably going to say no anyway, but I'm going to give the option. Stump, you could use your,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Rules. Okay.
I have 2 of those, don't I?
You do have 2.
Alright, I'm done shaving. I'll be right back.
Yeah, but is my character going to be able to understand what the hell is going on since he's not really part of the conversation?
I would say not, but if Yuka explains it all to you.
Which, I mean, reasonably, I would do my best as the world's most terrible translator.
I think I'll just give up the money. No offense. I'll hand you 10 platinum.
My brain is so stupid.
Thank you.
I heard no offense, and I just... Mario just pulls out a fence, says, no, it's mine.
Yes.
Okay,
all
so
right.
Liam, are you paying your 100?
He said he was...
Yeah, this time he actually said be right back.
Okay. Let's assume he can or can't. We'll figure that out later. But so you pay up 300 gold?
Yep. Worst case scenario, like I said, I can pay you guys back once we get back to Sai, but yeah.
Okay.
I accept indentured servitude.
I'm okay with being your servant. I mean, and yeah. Absolutely, mommy. I mean, dragon lady.
I'll stab you. Anyway.
Consensually.
God damn it.
Oh, well, dragon mommy. Please put your knife inside of my body.
Stop! You violated the law.
There are no laws of the claw.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, wrong,
Okay, I'm done.
wrong.
I'm done. I'm clocking off. I'm done. I'm out. I'm finished.
Okay. Yeah, so you pay 300 gold. Okay, go ahead and give me a persuasion check. DC 8.
You have a lot of faith in me right now. Hey!
There you go. I'm assuming that's not checked.
That is not checked.
Okay. Yeah, so he looks down at the gold, says, okay. And he pulls up a bag, shuffles a coin into it, and says, I'll be right back. And he puts up a sign that reads Elvish, out to lunch.
Yuka nods her head. My sincerest thanks.
Hamara, you just saw him pull up a sign and put it on the thing and walk away after shoveling all the gold into a pouch and walking away with it.
You see, this is how bureaucracy should work.
Mm-hmm.
Good old-fashioned corruption. I love it.
It's a good thing I don't have a sense of ownership, because I don't know money.
Is it even bureaucracy if there's some paperwork? I feel cheated.
You wrote words on a piece of paper. That counts as paperwork.
It's more of a postcard.
Y'all want this done as soon as possible, correct?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's stand off to the side. I'm going to stand off to the side in a prominent area. Preferably something with dramatic lighting coming down now.
So you stand off next to a table that has like this very ornate, like at angled glass pane window that just shines down on Hamari as she sits there contemplating life.
Oh no, I'm hoping that Azagot's going to see the message and freak the fuck out.
Oh, okay.
And if you can't be dramatic about something, then what's the fucking point?
Right. So you're sitting off to the side, and you in Elvish you can hear two of the people are waiting behind you, like, "What the hell?" As you move out of the way and they see the sign. We've been waiting.
That's bureaucracy. Yuka just kind of mutters.
And smoke some of that good stuff. Your perception of time would wane, and before you know it, this will all be done.
So you turn back and say that. And the one dude is back. He's like, the guy behind that dude, who the first guy walked away, he's like, "Oh, man. I thought Azragoth would always be around, man." Walked away.
God.
Yeah, so how long do you guys sit there?
I was gonna say, like, what time is it now? It's probably like 5, 6 p.m., right? We were waiting in line for like an hour.
It's like 7 p.m. at this point.
I mean, really, do you want to wait here potentially all night long, Imari, or do you want to find an inn and sleep comfortably?
I mean, if you guys want to go to an inn, I'll gladly wait here by myself.
I'll wait.
Imari, I just want to make sure you don't get heckled by anybody. The last thing I need to hear about is a very tall dragon lady committing a murder in this town.
I'll stay
Just
with
quick flash.
You may not.
Quick flashbacks back to the last episode where it just shows Hamari just like thrusting the knife at some bunch of religious folks, like, "Hey."
Exactly. That's exactly where my brain was going.
Give me my stabbing knife back.
I want that whole scene just fucking just put some on.
All right, I
hate Futurama.
I understand it may not seem, but this is a very important task for me, and I'm not going to threaten its completion.
Well, Yuka chooses to sit nearby.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys sit for about.
Hey, Liam, you got those trinkets from Hardcore, right?
I think so.
Yeah, why don't you put them on the table?
Hey, sure.
What were they again?
A bracelet and an amulet.
Wow, she gave us the amulet? I thought she kept the amulet.
No, wait. Yes, you're right. She kept the amulet.
I was gonna say, that's probably stopping other people from scrying on her.
Yeah, never mind. Ignore me. She gave you a couple, I think 2 bracelets.
Bracelet and earring.
That wasn't an earring. I believe they were armlets or bracelets.
Darn.
But yeah.
Some type of personal effect.
Yeah, so about 20 or so minutes later, that guy comes back without the bag, without the paper, and he says, he is currently in the middle of a play, but I'm assuming it would be okay if you come sit in on the play, and then when it's done, you may approach him. He's aware of the message waiting for him. He has not gotten a chance to see it.
I
You
would
get to have a dramatic reveal. Awesome.
I was going to say, I would rapidly relay this information to the rest of the party, and then proceed to thank the gentleman for his services.
Is he like in the play, or is he watching the play?
Probably.
Do you ask? You could ask that.
Yeah, directing the play. You know.
Well,
nursing. Yeah.
I guess we would then just go ahead and ask the man before he walks away. Like, real quick, is he in the play, watching, directing?
Azragoth prefers to direct and be in his plays.
I was going to say, he smiles and says, "You'll see."
Yeah, actually, I like that better. You'll see.
Honestly, like, as a person who IRL has been through acting classes, that's how a lot of directors are. They like to act and direct.
I mean, if you like something.
Exactly, like directing through action, I think is what a lot of people call it.
Yeah, or, be like the director that did the Silent Hill and the rest of the Resident Evil movies beyond one, who just hates his life and, wants to ruin every actor's career that touches his. But anyway.
Or any musician
well
and
then.
painter in the Renaissance era. Tortured, psychotic, maybe a little crazy.
Suffering from lead poisoning.
That too.
More likely. Anyway. So yeah, you guys, because this is how main character syndrome works, is you guys end up coming into a room and sitting in the back, and the play hasn't started yet, and the play begins to go. And you see a young, like, the play starts off with a young elven woman standing in the center. She appears to be wearing some type of regalia, like something that would, kind of put her off as nobility. And she talks about a story about love and loss and recovering from the death of someone that you truly love, to find someone else to fill the depth that was lost, the pain that was there. And as she bows and walks off stage, the it begins to open. Our first act, we see a young elf sitting on a pier fishing, and it slowly encompasses of this weird elemental whirlwind coming up from the sea and engulfing him, and the elven woman in regalia, now in like normal attire, sitting next to this what's just a pond, but an ocean, weeping in agony. Obviously, it's a little bit more in depth. There's a lot more dialogue, and as the play goes on, eventually there's a point where she's sitting in her first coronation, and she's being crowned. And as she's sitting, she's there's like this scene of her moving from important person to important person, when out the corner of the room in walks the person that you have all seen his face on paper and Hamari in person. You see a tall, like, platinum-haired elf in, like, some fairly decent finery walking onto the stage from right. And the elven woman, portrayed as some type of nobility, walks up to him. And then there's this very light, loving conversation of just two people who seem to understand each other. And they talk about, she talks about her loss, and then he speaks of abuse and pain and long drawn out relationship and etc. like that. And it continues on like this, and eventually the scene moves from them getting to explore their romance in just minute ways of enjoying their company. And then there was this this battle that we know as Azragoth is in, and he's wounded pretty roughly, or pretty severely, and the noble woman sits by his side, decrying that she doesn't want to lose someone else. And through her tears, he resurrects, comes back to life, and he is given a new purpose in life. And as there's this clapping and stuff, the scene transitions to the last act, where we see the two of them on top of like a very elvish kind of castle regantry, and we see her standing there next to him, and he turns and says a couple words, and then she leans into him, and he walks out onto the stage and starts to sing. Let me know if this comes through right away. If not, I will fix it.
You speak to me through dreams. Your love transcends mortality. Oh, the thread of life is barely in my grasp, for I crave to be with you more than anything. I'm longing ocean deep. There's no remedy, chasing ghosts and dreams. Lost felicity somewhere ocean deep. In my memories, the wound inside won't heal until we join in eternal sleep. You reach to me so serene from beyond where you rest in peace. Oh, you stay a while, then fade away with a smile, but never truly disappear. I'm longing ocean deep. There's no remedy, chasing ghosts and dreams. Lost felicity somewhere ocean deep. In my memories, the wound inside won't heal until we join in eternal sleep.
Yeah, so
I was going to say, that artist seemed familiar.
yeah, it is.
Nice choice, by the way.
Yeah, so it's funny because real quick, I had written kind of all the things that brought these two together for a long time ago, before I knew about the queen bitch who runs the Enlightened Ember now, and basically wrote this up, and then kind of left it settle for a long time, and then when I was writing this campaign, and then I was working out the Enlightened Ember, I was working through this, and then when I finally filled in the last bit of the details, then I got to the point where I'm like, okay, the party's finally going to get to this point because they decided to choose the Enlightened Ember. And then I'm like, oh, I completely forgot about this section of notes, so I read it all. And then I was listening to the band Beast in Black, and this song came on. I'm like, huh, this strangely matches, not 100%, but pretty damn close to what I was thinking. And then I'm like, well, I did say he was going to rendition this through a play, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just use this song. But yeah,
Whatever you do, for the love of God, do not upload this to YouTube, or you will get copyright flagged.
No, it's unlisted, so it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yep. So he sings that, and he colors it off with all the cast coming out and singing the whole chorus again, right? That the wound inside will not heal, until we go to the great sleep, and then the curtains close, everyone claps, people are crying. And we get a camera pan back to the party sitting in the back of the room. what, like, we're going from, I just said left to right as if that matters. We'll start with Liam. Liam, what would your face be for something like this? Like, what would the expression?
Smiling.
Okay.
Toothy grin.
I have a question. Is this being sung in Common or Elvish?
It's being sung in Common.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the play was in, like, Elvish, though, right?
No, it was in Common.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I should have said that.
I was gonna say, it's like me and
exactly, too.
me
I
and
was
Liam
like,
are just sitting there like, this would be a much better play if I could understand what the fuck was going on.
Liam's just leaning over the banister like Toph in that one scene.
That's pretty great.
oh my god.
It's too bad that none of the casters are here right now.
What, do I not count as a caster?
Does Liam not count as a caster?
You fucking dude.
I'm literally the only non-caster in like all of this entire party.
Yeah. Well, except for Brookside.
Yeah, Brookside's not a caster.
Brookside's a rock'em sock'em robot. I mean, what?
Yeah, see? Yeah. All the people that are non-casters are here.
I mean, I can't cast right now.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, you all could understand the play spoken in Common from beginning to end.
It's almost magical.
It looked like he was speaking Common.
Interesting. Not just him, but everyone?
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
Ooh, bomb diggity.
Azalis, you can make one at advantage. You're looking for a DC 18. No factors for this.
Hey.
Yeah. Amari, there's no way you would know the syllabus structure. Because actually you might pick up if they're actually like the common words are coming out right. Hamari, give me a perception check, just regular. 18. Yeah. So all you could tell, like, and it's probably varying degrees. We'll say, like, Hamari, you catch on at the end when he's singing. It's like, that's not how that syllable should look. I'm pretty sure that's not how that syllable should look. And Yuka, you catch on right away, like, when the woman was talking about the story summary, that her mouth wasn't matching up. And Liam, you catch on, like, in the second or first act, that whatever's going on here is being relayed to you via comprehension magic or something.
Gotcha.
Either
we are speaking tongues or we are actively under the effect of comprehend languages.
Mm-hmm. So, Yuka, what would your facial expression be at the end of that play?
Just like a polite smile. Like, Yuka's in it for the art. She's not huge on, like, the drama and theatrics of plays.
Okay. And Hamari.
Hamari isn't a very, she loves music. I mean, she can appreciate the, what's the word I'm looking for? Composition?
Sure.
Is that what I'm looking for?
I think so.
She can appreciate the musical composition. The meaning behind it, there's just probably hidden meaning behind that.
Absolutely is. You want to roll me an insight? You're looking for a DC 20.
26.
Is that checked?
Yep.
That's 2. Firstly, that story, other than the whole the other person, but when he talked about abuse and suffering over the years, he's fucking he's talking about fuck, I forget her name. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
But the Enlightened Ember Queen.
Your queen.
Yeah, give me a second. I just want to get her. It's like Mr. Kildaz or something like that. I have the wrong document up.
Well, maybe you should not have the wrong document up.
Yeah, be better prepared, Ben. Jeez.
Yeah, Ben, get your shit together.
I had to roll out of bed and open up Discord to get here. I mean, you could at least show the same amount of effort.
Here's the thing. This is a fucking 9-page document that's just entirely about the Enlightened Ember. Go fuck yourself. I didn't think any of it.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
it's Morbin time.
Morbin time. Anyway, Vyra Kildas. That's her name. That's the queen's name, Vyra Kildas. Vibra killed us.
Vibra killed ass.
Yeah, killed ass.
I killed this ass.
But yeah, he's abso-fucking-lutely like all every time he talks about his relationship with the past, it matches word for word, spot for spot for Vibra killed ass. The only thing is those two are still technically married. Like they are married. So it's you're not really sure 100%, and then you get the factor, and then you're 100% sure that with all the puzzle pieces you've gained together, can you guess like what's happening here with Azragoth and why he ran away, what he's doing?
He loves this woman.
Okay.
He found some better pussy.
Yeah. So yeah, your factor is 100 like near perfect confirmation that that's the reason why he ran away, reason why he's disappeared, why he's now hiding out here is because because he legitimately has no interest in ever going back to that bitch, and is trying to live a happy life here as an elf rather than the fucking massive platinum dragon he is. The other factor is going forward, since you saw this performance and everything and how he did it, in any conversations involving Bauer Kildas or him returning the Light and Ember or him staying here, anything involving with that or the relationship between him or his ex, well, still not ex, you can have a advantage for. That was a sound.
Fish tank.
I'm so sorry. But yes, I was dumping water out of a fish tank.
I was hoping it wasn't just vomit. It's like
it wasn't that bad a performance. Jeez.
Exactly. Good God.
Okay.
Anyway.
So we discover his motives of basically he's in love with someone and he doesn't want to go back. He wants to be here to have a happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to threaten his daughter.
Okay. I guess. I don't think so. No.
Well, in the way I was presenting things, like hey, the assassin is saying the code phrase of "you need to come back."
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're sitting there, and the curtain comes back.
Out the little flame of hope he has.
Damn it. The curtain goes up, and all the actors come out. They give applause. The magical lights come on, and then Azragoth comes on, and he talks about how he loves running this play. Once a month. It's one of his pride and joys, and he's glad that the whole the Grove has seen it grow, and it's been changed and edited, and people have added their own stories onto it and their own devices, and he talks on about it a bit, and then he talks about how fantastic his crew is and how great they are individually, and the caster who is making all the effects happen, and though he never names the caster, and then the play ends, and then you see a small little tiny stewardess hill dwarf waddle his way over to Azragoth as he's kind of off to the side, and he's handed that note. Hamari, I'm assuming you're fucking like tunnel vision watching every emotion. Like,
so is there more dramatic lighting I can stand in?
Yes, it just so happens that this side is not getting the magic lighting. It's kind of shadowed, and they decide that they're opening up the back end from the roof. So there's like god rays coming in, and you just happen to be sitting in one of the god rays.
Hell yeah!
Perfect.
So you're watching, and you see him open the paper.
I'm gonna be fiddling with one of the bracelets.
Yeah, gotcha. You see his face kind of like his mouth open, and you see him reread it again as his mouth drop, and then he instinctively looks left, looks right, and then his eyes fall on yours.
His eyes what?
his eyes fall on yours.
His eyes meet yours.
Oh yeah, I can imagine through the guard rays some little glint comes off of the bracelet that just catches his eye as I'm like eyeing it, and then I just kind of turn to him.
The dramatic lighting begins to shine on you. It gets hotter and hotter. You realize this is Moonbeam.
Yeah. Speaking of Moonbeam, Stump, can you make a charisma saving throw, DC 31?
31. Where am I? Okay, I just got to roll natural 20. That's all I got to do.
You could use 3 inspiration.
Oh, inspiration, yeah.
There is no possible way for him to pass that.
Does a natural 20 make an automatic success on a save?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot 5e did that. I thought it was... Never mind. No, it's Pathfinder I'm thinking of. Never mind.
Yep. How are you sticking with that?
I mean, I'll need my inspiration later.
Okay.
I'm sure he's doing something to me to command me to go over to him, which he doesn't really need to.
Or
you feel an immense calm over you that you have no will to harm or kill Irakora.
So normal. I get what he's doing.
And you you see him pocket the paper, walk to the side of the stage, and you see him talk to a couple leaves, and they go around and start telling people, "Hey, come on, you gotta go, you gotta leave." And Liam and Yuka, you start seeing these leaves kind of like pushing people out of the room. What do you start doing?
remain seated.
You remain seated? What about you, Yuka?
Yep. Same.
I'm gonna see if I can put the bracelet on. If it looks good. Does it match my scales? Probably not.
No.
Anything looks beautiful on your scales, hon. I mean, what?
Yeah. And so eventually all the people are cleared out, and they don't come to you guys. They shut the doors behind them. And Azragoth walks up onto the stage and raises out a hand and casts Fireball.
Just taking y'all down with me. I'm not going back.
100th level Fireball.
Oh, Jesus.
No. It would actually be a... How much can you upcast that? Like 12th level Fireball.
I mean, he just cast Wish.
Yeah, it was more dramatic. Anyway. No, yeah, so he holds out his hand and he beckons the three of you. He says, "Come now. No reason to hide in the dark."
I stand up and I start walking forward.
Nope, I'll walk forward as well.
Yuka?
I'm so sorry. I was distracted by my neighbors stomping upstairs. I missed like 75% of that.
Oh, he gets on stage. He gestures for you guys to come up to meet with him.
Oh, yeah, I would absolutely go up there.
I approach, clapping. "Brilliant performance, good sir."
He takes a gentle bow and says, "I appreciate that. It is one of my finest pieces. If only I could have the true actress come down for the play of the Queen. What is your name, sir?" He's looking at you, Liam.
"Liam Searunner."
"Nice to meet you, Liam Searunner. And what about you, young druid?"
I just nod and say, some people call me Azalis.
Interesting. Says, "Nice to meet you, Azalis." And he turns to you, Liam, and says, "Hey, do you watch many plays, Searunner?"
I didn't have a chance to catch any. Or had a chance to catch very few, I should say.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the few you have, at least mine. He looks to you, Yuka, Azalis, and he says, "How did you like the play?"
The play was very beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of the dramatic arts myself, but it was very well put together.
Okay. Can both of you make a charisma saving throw of 28?
Probably not.
Mad you to praise him for his performance.
No. So what's happening is basically the two of you, Liam and Yuka, you're just having a conversation with him. It's an enjoyable conversation. It continues to, linger, but sometimes it seems like, man, this draws out a little bit, and you're like, you know what? I really enjoy talking to this guy, Liam. It seems like he's really talking to you about like he's starting to learn that you're out in the sea, and he's like, oh, I used to love soaring over the sea in the airship, like talking, like really talking up, and then Yuka like talking about, like the finite nature of your society and like the little things you missed and like the animals and like really the societal like grace that this part of the world has, and it's just on and on. Himari, you see the two approach the stage and stand there.
Go catatonic.
Don't fucking say a goddamn word. And
That's
then
what I figured was happening.
and Azragoth walks over and says, Hamari, what are you doing here? Looking for me, I take it. You
Yes.
dare threaten me and my daughter?
I needed to make sure I got your attention.
Well, you got it. And you are thrown across the room.
Okay. Do I survive?
No, you get impaled, you're dead, it's just game over. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I couldn't write it any other way. No.
Okay.
You take, that's not how you do.
Nice.
That. Take 5 damage from just slamming against the wall. And before you can recover, he's like in front of you again. Like about 2 or 3 feet away.
Iroquois is the one who gave me that code phrase.
I'm sure. How did she give it to you, Wedge?
She told me of her own free will.
Lies.
Command me to tell you the truth.
I will. Give me a charisma saving throw 31.
Choose to fail.
I'm going to choose to fail. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Can you give me a persuasion roll DC 14?
Yes.
Okay. That's how many factors?
14. 2.
Okay. Yeah. So you give in and you make it apparent, right?
Yeah, that's.
And,
I literally told him to do that exactly.
Yeah. So you feel him not just compel you to talk, but he is sifting through your mind.
He turned me into a puppet.
You do take, and let me know if this takes you down. It's 13 damage, psionic damage.
No, I have a maximum of 69.
Okay. Yeah. So, damn it. Yeah. So he peels back the inner layers of your mind and your thoughts, and he's sifting through them. And he finally, and like basically, it's like random memories. Some of them important, some of them between you and Rem talking. You see maybe one of your childhood, one of recent memory of just eating an orange, like, and then finally it gets to, and then one of you vomiting, teleporting,
and then another one vomiting, and another one teleporting.
Why is there so much vomiting?
Yeah, that's the vomiting folder. Pushing that off to the side. Yeah, that you see, and then like right before he gets to the memory with Irakora, we see like Hamari pinning down the bard and him squealing, and then it kicks over to the conversation with Irakora, and then it's like fast forward, rewind, fast forward, rewind, fast forward, rewind, like keeps like going over the conversation 100 times over and over and over and over again.
He's looking for deception.
Yeah. And you feel like your brain is like fucking like unjacked from whatever was going on, and you have a fucking just raging headache, and his hand flickers and flutters away, and he stands there with his hand on his chin. He says, so you were sent here to keep an eye on the elf girl, the one with the magic tech.
Part of it, yeah.
And you just so happened to find my daughter.
No, I was tasked with finding where she was, and by extension, finding you.
You know I can see into your mind, right?
Yeah, that's why it hurts a lot.
You happened upon her. You weren't seeking her exactly.
Well, this. Let's see. Was it Liam that said it? Yeah, Liam that said he had met her.
Exactly. No one was supposed to know where we went. There's good reason for that, Amari.
I see your story that you've told outlines that pretty good.
It does. Explain to me why you decided that it'd be a good idea to convince her to go back to that hellish place.
Does one person's passions outweigh the needs of an entire nation?
False.
Are you going to be that selfish?
Yes. I have given hundreds of my years to that bitch, and I have no plans on going back. And I don't, and he grabs the table next to it and throws it, just with flicking his hand, and I don't fucking plan on having my daughter used like she was. To do what? Himari, say it. Say it out loud. What did that bitch tell my daughter what to do that harmed an entire empire? For what? Selfishness? For the betterment of the enlightened ember? What of those of the Bound Eight? What of those of the Knoll Camp? What of them? What of my daughter? What of all the pain and suffering that she went through after she found out what she was told to do? Don't play this selfish little fucking game with me. And he stands straight up and stares down at you.
I'm pausing because I can't find in my notes what happened.
So you found out that she was told, well, actually, you knew of the operation, that she was going over as a fun little envoy to just play little adventurer because she just wanted to get out and explore the world because she was always cooped up. And her mom's like, you know what, honey? Or it's not actually her mom, but you know what? You can go do that. We have a diplomatic mission for you. You're going to go deliver this box, this parcel, to this Knoll camp. And you're going to do it as a favor from the enlightened Ember to show our gratitude towards even the most tribalistic of people in the Bound Eight, to show our gratitude. That box had basically an ancient parasite that was stolen from a facility that somehow someone in your order got access to. And that parasite damn well knew what it could do, which was take over the beings that it infected and spread.
It is Stargate. It's the Goa'uld.
Not quite. It's more like Lost Plagas.
We found the Stargate team. Now we just find the Goa'uld.
God damn it!
No, we
it's
just
more like
find the Asgard.
More like Lost Plagas. Anyway.
But
yeah, that whole operation was, and then she was supposed to come right back, but she decided to hang around to see, oh, what is the gift? And it took them a couple days to open it. That you found out later, but from informants from the Bound Eight. Daggy standing over you, looming, while Liam and Yuka are just standing there, stock still, in front of the stage. Gentle smiles on their face.
You have an alternative to trying to bring peace to this chaos of a land? Bring order?
I don't have all of the answers, Amari. But it sure as hell is an underhanded, devious, abusive tactics. We have much bigger problems in this world than worrying about conquering land and worrying about having a seat on dry.
And what are those bigger problems?
I think you know.
And how much of it are caused by the people in this land?
Funny you ask. It isn't even the fault of the people of this land, but an intergalactical being that decided to screw with this entire universe. I can't stop them. I am a mere dust to them. My power is so immense that I could level an entire continent, and I can't even come to a speck of those evil, twisted beings' power. And they sit up there and watch us play our political little games, our backstabbing.
That's why we're better off without them. They're not actually helping anything.
All I wanted was for whatever last little years that were of my life or Irakora's to be happy. That is all.
And you're happy to just watch people be brought to slaughter.
I can't stop it. I've tried. I've looked. I broke into that place once, and I was almost killed. There is nothing I can do to stop those beings.
What place?
They call it the Moon Temple in the desert, close to where the Bound 8. It's partly why our little empire, they like, how Kildas likes to call it, took interest with the Bound 8. Not because we wanted allies, not because we wanted to sit and dry, but because the technological prowess that was in that temple. And then it disappeared.
Well, I, for one, would like to go down to fighting rather than being blissfully unaware.
His facial expression changes just small modicum. Oh, would you forgo bringing me and my daughter back to try and stand with me in our effortless, fruitfulest fight?
One moment. I need to look at something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so while that's all happening, Liam and, well, he knows you as Azalus, you guys have actually, went to dinner. You actually had a really nice time. The fucking fish here is phenomenal. Liam, you've sailed the ocean seas, right? You've had some big catch. This is fucking, phenomenal. And you're a pretty, simplistic person. You just like your shit, fairly decent, but not unedible. This is great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that I cannot at all steer the conversation to the message I was supposed to deliver.
No, it's anytime there's this fucking small little screaming voice in the back of your head and his name is Greg, it does not come up. It will not come up. It's just every time you even have a neuron fire of thinking about it, it's just gone.
Sorry, I'm trying to find exactly where in the notes. So I'm trying to find a technicality. Was I actually commanded to bring them back, or am I just commanded to find them? Because there's a big fucking difference.
You're hoping to play off the fucking loophole?
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact... no, that makes sense. I don't remember the exact contract word. Do you have it? I have it in my notes.
No, because I see the original note I got to keep an eye on Elrilla. Yeah, I can't find it in notes. What was that?
Give me a second. Actually, it won't be in here. It'll be in my notes for sure. Ren. How many words have R-E-N into it? Probably a lot. Oh, let's say Primari. How do you spell your character's name again? I don't have the right thing on.
H-I-M-A-R-I.
Found it. Yeah, here it is. I'll go ahead and Discord it to you.
Okay.
That is the Windows key. That does things. That's the song. Why did that copy? What the fuck happened to this text? Small and shit. Copy. Fucking Windows. Probably because I probably hit the window key instead of control. Yeah, that's what I did. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have too, but it doesn't say anything about actually finding.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that you weren't. Because I remember correctly, you weren't, but he doesn't know that. He assumes because you're here, there's only one reason why you're here, and he was slightly wrong about that.
Okay, so all right, yeah, okay, the technical orders that I have are that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just kind of a standing, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, command of, hey, could we find these fucking people and bring them back, please? Basically what it is.
I mean, there's the kingdom-wide message, if, any information on Irakora. How about we?
All right, so I'm going to explain that I'll let him look into my brain and see those orders if you want.
Yes, you tell him that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me or fail it. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just going to fail it. It's not going to be pleasant, but
Okay, give me a persuasion check again. It's even less. DC 10.
I rolled a 1 and got 21. No, I don't. I suppose. How does that work? I can't really roll less than a 10.
Yeah, you can't roll less than 10.
You can't
so
roll 10.
Yeah, so that's how many factors?
What was the DC you said?
3.
10.
Yeah, that would be 3.
Okay, so then that reduces the die 4 additionally down, so it's basically is counterpoint to how much damage you take. You take an additional 7 psychic damage.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yep. And he reads through those orders, sees the standing orders, like any information about Irakora. And again, like unjacked from your brain. Again, less worse headache, but it's compounding, right, from the last one. You actually have, we see Hamari, rolling her head and cracking her invertebrate, and then, blood comes down her nose and, looks up at Azragoth, and he says, "Not surprised this comes from Ren."
Safety and security of the state is more important than my own life here. And if what you're saying is true, then you are in the best position to actually do anything about it. And if we could unite all these stupid little mammals out here, instead of having them do whatever this weird shit is that they do, maybe we could actually stand a chance.
Amari, you don't get it. The Keldas and her brood are not going to unite. They're going to subterfuge and conquer. By the time they're done, it'll probably be too late.
Would they be able to do that if you were back home?
If I leave, I promise you, I probably won't be able to leave again. I have my own informants over there, and I know what she has waiting for me. And my daughter.
I'm assuming he's just still, holding me off the ground against the wall by the throat.
No,
this entire time.
You've basically been laying against the wall, with a couple smashed chairs around you, and him about 2 feet away, using his hand to direct magic at you.
Okay. Well, basically, just in a more non-literal sense. So we remove the obstacles. When I say I owe my life to the state are the people who rule it, which is you.
He quirks his head slightly. You're saying what I think you're saying. You'll take my orders.
Yes, and I want to see my nation prosper. If we have to do rearranging of the deck chairs to make sure that happens, well, then that's just what we got to do.
Roll me this is non-psych damage. Roll me yeah, he gets a 31 on this roll. You can choose to fail it. You don't know what it is. But he's doing something to you. You can feel it pierce through your mind, not painfully, but it's there. A DC check of 31 charisma.
If I fight back now, I'm just going to make it harder for myself to prove what I'm saying is true. So,
okay,
the door's open.
Yeah. So, you feel a grip on your emotions, your sincerity, everything, and then the feeling goes away, and he says, "Huh, you are being truthful."
I know it's hard to believe coming from someone with my day job. But I do these things for a reason.
I see that. What of the elf girl? That just for proclivity to enhance our nation?
Yes. She'd be a great asset.
What of me and my daughter? What are you going to tell Rem?
Rem is the person that gives me the directions of what I should be doing. You are supposed to be given directions of what the nation is doing. Therefore, whatever you tell me to do kind of overrides whatever Ren does. how a chain of command should work, in my opinion, don't you think?
He lowers his hand and says, fascinating. You all lot do love your order.
My order exists to protect the nation.
What of the beings? You have some way of combating them?
Not yet.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to get out of character. When he says beings, he's referring to the big bad, like horrible alien things that are trying to kill us, right?
That's a fair. You can give me an insight check. I mean, it like for you and me, like
That's the best I could do.
That's the best you can do. Yeah. So the DC was like 22 because he's pretty reserved. So how many factors is that?
2. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, he's absolutely talking about Hisra and their ilk, the Diashra. And I would say the 2-factor is if you suggest, yeah, I'll give you this. For a 2-factor on this with the, roll nat 20, if you let him into your brain to show him everything that the party has told you thus far, including all the weird rantings and ravings that you've heard from Gregory when he was possessing Liam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might not. I might not understand it, but he might.
Yeah, you let him see all of that and every little bit of information about Hisra. You can, with these 2 factors, assure his trust.
Yep, I'm gonna lose a couple more brain cells for this, but yeah.
Okay, roll me a persuasion. DC 8 this time. How many factors is that?
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
Is it more than 6?
20. Yes?
Okay, yeah, you don't take any damage. So yeah, you reach in, he, gobbles all that up. And you feel as he pulls away, not that like, brain jack feeling, but you feel the headache reside. And you can go ahead and recover all the HP damage that you suffered from psionic damage, which would have been 20, I think, flat. Yeah, 13.7. And you feel a levity over your pain mine and hypothalamus system and all your other neurons firing. Yeah, and he takes a step back with actually literal confusion and says, and he looks back at the 2 of the stage and says, "You do keep interesting company, Amari.
They're useful.
Useful doesn't begin, especially that Sea Runner. There's also something, after rooting through your memories, there's something off about Yuka is her real name. Is it not?"
Yes.
Funny. I ask you as if you could have lied to me. Interesting. So there's a weapon that can be used against them. And this Gregory, who's in Liam, is certain of this. But you don't know where it is.
Not yet.
You see his whole demeanor change. There's like stout, strong posture of like you could looking at the platinum hair elf, you could almost see the platinum massive dragon behind him with the original stance that he was in. And you see him kind of shift back to the play stance, where he has the kind of aloof body language, nothing's locked, very loose. And he reaches out a hand to help you up.
I will accept that hand. It'll feel strange getting help from someone who I see is so far above me, but...
Yeah, so you're hesitant, and you take his hand, and when you take his hand, you feel a bunch of spell work, but it's not directed towards you. And as you get up, we see this like unique camera shot of like it panning from looking at Hamari on the ground and reaching out to grip her reaching out to grip Azragoth's hand, and as like he's as Hamari's pulled up and forward, we see kind of a rewind, like in the same motion of Hamari being brought up. We see a rewind of time of like the table being thrown across, Hamari being thrown, everything, and you are now in front of the stage holding Azragoth's hand, and you recover the other 5 damage you physically took. Your nose isn't bleeding. You don't have any rifts. The random piece of wood that was jabbing into your spine is, not there no more. The splinters you had, they're all gone. And the room seems to be at normal, and he lets go of your hand. And Liam and Yuka, this entire time, you've been having a great time. You came back to the play zone. You shut the door. You guys are laughing. And, you come up to the stage again, and he jumps on top of it. He's like, well, I think our performance is done here. What'd you say? And he says that to you, Liam, and Yuka.
Hold on now. We've got a message to deliver for you.
Oh, and then he reaches over. Would it happen to have anything to do with this lovely woman? And he shakes Hamari's hand, who you're like, wow, where has Hamari been? Seems like it's been a while. And then Hamari snapped back to reality. Like, you all are now in the room as it was prior. And Azragoth shakes your hand and says, I know this one. Her name is Hamari.
Oh, no, it has absolutely nothing to do with her. Something about your daughter, I believe.
Oh, Irakora, the message.
Yes, we were supposed to deliver that to you.
I got it. And I do believe that yes, I read it. Had Hamari's handwriting and everything on it.
Oh, she wrote it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then mission accomplished, I guess.
Yes. I do believe me and Hamari have some things to talk about, but we can include you and your friends when you have time. But I think I know a path forward for Irakora that will make her and myself happy. And keep the Enlightened Ember happy as well. And he looks over to you, Hamari. Do you give like a facial nod, acceptance, or just stock still?
I'll give a little nod to him.
Any message you want us to send back? I imagine we'll be leaving here pretty quickly.
Yes. You can give her the code phrase that is supposed to complement that. Which is, darling, the key was never in place. You may leave whenever you would like.
The key was never in place. You may leave whenever you like. Gotcha.
Darling, the key was never in place.
Darling.
You may leave whenever you like.
Hey, gotcha.
So, other than delivering that little message to me, what else are you all doing up here?
Well, I was doing a little bit of shopping, got that done. I wonder if Elrilla's found that book of hers, and I wonder what Cyrith's up to. Hopefully neither are in prison by now.
Oh, your friends have a bad capability of causing havoc.
We have our quirks. We'll just leave it at that.
Although I have to imagine out of your whole party, Hamari probably is the most dangerous. He laughs.
Aye, we all are.
Oh, Liam, you seem like such a kind, gentle folk. And Yuka,
I try
he real quick. He says Yuka and Teferis to Gantz. I can't imagine you even harming a snail.
You could just immediately flashbacking to the time when she was an octopus and ripped out multiple men's tongues.
Oops.
I literally cannot let that go.
God, I'm just imagining like Yuka doing like this, like, oh, it's just me, like this cute little look and like cartoony, and then it just shows octopus guy actively alive as his tongue's being ripped out. Just
that is exactly the face I have right now. Though, like a big ass smile on my face, like, he doesn't know.
Yeah, he didn't invade your minds. He just showed you a good time while he hashed things out.
I am so happy that the silver fox.
Go ahead, Liam.
I try to be amicable when I can.
Mm-hmm. What was that, Yuka?
Oh, no, I was just gonna be obnoxious saying I'm happy that the silver fox showed me a good time. I mean that the silver dragon. I mean that the silver elf showed me a good time.
Do you actually use? No, you don't know. There's no way you'd say silver dragon.
Probably not, but I would not say this out loud. This is me.
Okay.
Y'all know what a silver fox is, right?
Yeah, I know what a silver fox is. That's fine. It's
Okay.
you're saying,
Okay.
oh, a dragon showed me a good time. I have problems with that.
I don't.
No. We were going straight to old man fetish material.
Yeah, that's fine. No, Andrew, there's unless it was offhanded, there's no reason why you has no idea that Azragoth is a platinum dragon.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah,
I thought we knew that somehow.
You, if I remember correctly, you and Sai were in conversations with Hamari.
And I can't imagine a non-dragon being anywhere near royalty in the Enlightened Ember.
Yeah, but like it's not an impossible thing, and it probably wouldn't phase him. I'm just curious if she'd say that. But yeah, the Silver Fox thing, that's fine. But yeah, so there's a little camaraderie, and he says, so I still have a couple other things I need to do today. Give me 10 or so minutes. I'll allow you all to have a higher pass, so you can come freely from the city on the high, as long as you, again, keep to yourselves and don't cause too much havoc.
And for how long is that pass valid? Because ours is only good for another 23 days, I think.
I'll make it for 23 days then. Even it out. We shouldn't take too long. I feel like we could come to an agreement, but it sounds like your friends have books and interesting knowledge. I'd like to at least give them some days to pore over that library, wouldn't you?
Aye. But I prefer vocal knowledge myself, and I've got a couple of questions if you don't mind answering.
I have 10 or so minutes before I have other things tying me away. Go on.
I show him my brand of Talos.
Yes.
Well, you see, I happen to be a servant of a particular elemental. Storm's his domain, the sea his domain.
I am very well aware of Talos. He is quite the interesting folk.
Can't hear him here, that's unfortunate, but I have heard rumor of a strange lake over to the west. Racked by frequent and constant storms. Can't help but feel the two are related. What do you know about it?
There has always been anomaly issues in that area for a long time. That is the... Oh, interesting. It has kept out of my mind, but that was the way line that supposedly, from the ancient lore I understand from here, was Talos's.
Talos's way line? Grounded?
Yeah. The legends and the thaumaturgic essays that I've read, all the way lines here were devolved from most of the elementals that you know and probably worship.
Aye, that would make sense. But what doesn't make sense is why I can't hear him here if I'm so close to his way line.
That is the barrier. That is what gives, I shouldn't say. But the barrier keeps everyone here safe from prying eyes.
That'd be real handy to learn that trick.
I help
with the enemies we've been making.
Well, I didn't help set it up, but I know how it works. I have a extensive knowledge of song spells now, and I love their intricacy. Magic and all things magical are my realm.
Afraid I don't know much spell singing.
It is a complicated art.
And I don't think I have the lifespan to learn.
Not that hard, but it would be annoying to spend 30 years of your life to get it right.
Aye, this world doesn't have that time.
Yes. Not to mention you have to actually be able to sing, and a note change could be the difference between summoning a cup of water and summoning a shark.
Aye, that would be a bit of a hazard.
So what your lead question was exactly, and he thinks, oh, right, why can't I hear him here? The barrier is specifically designed to keep out
not only divinity, but also scrying and other things like that. Sorry, that's me misspeaking. The Grove specifically wanted it to keep everyone safe, especially after the Blood Forest debacle. They were becoming quite errant with scrying efforts from the magistrate.
Hey, they were troublesome, weren't they?
They were. They made an entire group of people flee and start their own kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Abandoned a bunch of us, too.
Yes. Not just displaced people that they saw as undesirables, but people who protected those undesirables. He uses quotations.
Mm-hmm.
And those who did not want their theocratic rule and xenophobic nature.
Down with the church.
It's a good thing that Yorissa's dead. A horrible individual he was.
Was he now?
Oh, yes. He led the magistrate with great abandon, and some of the experiments I heard he had taken out makes me even leery at thinking about reading a paper or a dynastic thaumaturgical essay from anything he put his hands on.
Interesting. Well, hopefully they've all been good and burned, then.
One would hope. As you have any other questions, Sea Runner?
Hey, now that covers it for about now.
What about you, Yuka?
I don't think I have any questions at all. Some may say that's my name. I guess you could say I go by both.
Fascinating. There is not an uncommon aspect here in our society of people who go by different names for different reasons or more fluid with their appearance and identity. But for you, it seems more personal. You mind if I inquire?
Yeah, personal is definitely the reason.
Yeah, he puts up his hands. Then do not mind my pry. I will back off.
Yuka politely nods. Thank you.
Then, yeah, so you have no questions for him?
I do not.
And he looks to you, Hamari. Any questions for you, Hamari? He smiles.
Do you know where I can get a good bed around here?
Absolutely. One of the things I was hoping to do, and he moves around his... Ah, damn it. Wrong pants. Give me 1 minute. And he goes around backstage. He comes back. And he hands you all this, slate of, what looks like Electrum with, fancy doodads and stuff on it. And he hands it to you, Hamari. And he says, don't lose this. But as long as you have this, you can run a tab on me. Just make sure you return it. This is a
Did
personal...
Daddy just give you his credit card?
It's basically... Yeah.
Just gave us a business card.
He says, the Lokenlaun is a very fantastic inn. There is no bar attached. You'll have to go find another one there. But it does have some of the best sleeping accommodations if you do not own your own personal home. And for those that some, even the high personal home, envy the Lomenlai.
Finally, some refinement.
Absolutely. It should give you some breaths of home, if not even better. The elves surely do know how to use druidcraft. We could learn a thing or two from them. Couldn't we, Amari?
We certainly could, your liege.
Please.
Yuka just smiles.
Call me Az. And he bows, he says, well, that's about all the time I have. When you need, show that. Oop, my damn computer fell asleep. Fuck off, Michelle. She said that as.
God.
I was feeling a laugh there, and so I wasn't responding.
Daddy Azragoth Ulu.
Damn it. Anyway,
You're welcome.
Yeah, so he says, hey, my time's up. I gotta get going. And he says, stay the 10 or 15 days, whatever it takes, and let your fellows enter libraries. And if they have any specific information that they are looking for, to do an inquiry underneath Az's name, and he will
send a personal scry or scholar out to help I find or identify the books or knowledge that is required. There is an internal library that isn't super open to the public, but could be requested. And he is offering special proclivities to allow for that request under certain conditions. But yes, he bows, he grabs his coat, puts it on, waves, and he leaves, leaving you all three standing in the playroom, amphitheater, by yourselves.
Amari's gonna touch your snoot just to make sure there's no blood left there.
None. You all see Hamari prodding her face.
Well, I think that went well.
You can kind of look sideways. Are you okay?
Actually.
I've had more pleasant encounters before, but
You seem perfectly fine to me.
yeah.
Hey, where were you all that time?
Yeah, Hamari, you don't know what the fuck happened. You hate magic as it is.
I know I don't like magic. The only explanation I have is magic bullshit.
Magic bullshit. Man, I hate how unspecific about that you can be.
Well, it would have been nice if you guys were doing something other than just standing there this whole time.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He manipulated my mind, didn't he?
All of ours. Magic bullshit.
Oh, man, that irks me. All right.
Can we... I'm gonna go find the lodging.
Aye, agreed.
Alone and lie.
Alone and lie. And on the way there, I'm gonna find the most goddamn expensive thing I can find to drink.
That's valid and fair.
There's literally it's called the chromium cask, and is basically a 17 platinum bottle.
Holy
wine.
Christ.
Yeah.
This is like rich people wine.
Yeah.
It's gonna taste like ass, isn't it?
You take a drink of cheap water down swill.
Nah, I would love to make the joke, but these people taste like ass. God damn it, Michelle. Anyway, train of thought. Oh, because this society is basically druidcraft is everywhere. They've learned how to use culinary experts and brewer experts that can, when you imagine you could tell a grape what to have, and it just has it, and quickly ferment grape. You know what I mean? They have tools that are beyond our current modern day technology to accomplish this. To be perfect gene editing to get the exact year of wine every single fucking time, aged within just a year or a couple days. So this is this cask is there's been 18 archdruids who have found and refined this craft of this perfect thing, and it is known as throughout the land as the best and most refreshing. Some say it gives you healing, it heals you, it fixes ailments, it removes cancer, all sorts of shit. And the problem is, as you look into it and you're talking and hearing people talk about it, it's not snake oil. It appears to actually have some fucking healing properties to it that do prevent and increase age, increases your lifelong age.
Hey.
I get to get better by getting drunk.
Uh-huh.
I don't see a downside.
So there is one downside. You don't get hangovers.
Can I get 2 bottles?
He gave you his credit card.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, God! Please don't do that to poor Azragoth.
Oh, my God. He's a king. How much money could this guy possibly not have?
He's technically 2 kings.
He's a king in 2 different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine this man has literally all of the money.
You can buy 2 bottles, but the scene is you guys find the Loman Lie, and maybe Sai meets up with you. You still haven't seen Amarillo or Brookside yet, and you tell him yeah, everything went fine, blah 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 blah, and then Sai's oh, okay, so I have bedding here. So Sai immediately goes in and starts resting in the room, and
I'm really tempted to get everybody room except for Sai.
You if you want to do that,
I'm rolling a trait.
okay, go for it.
What am I see?
Damn it, I didn't actually have that up in front of me this whole time. I should have.
Generous versus asshole-ish? What would that be?
Generosity versus selfish is simple. Generosity versus cruel.
Cruel, there we go. Cruel is +4, generous is -4. Awesome, perfect.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, by the way, Yuka, go ahead and actually roll on your passion, make friends.
Oh god, did I do the custom roll thingy?
I don't know if you did, but it's D20 +2.
So, cruel won out. So,
Okay. Yeah, so, basically what ends up happening is Sai's like, well, fine, I'll get my own room. And, like,
blackjack and hookers.
yeah, and, like, you're like, I'm gonna go get some wine. So you go to, like, you find a local place, takes you about an hour, it's getting dark. And the interaction is, like, you walk in, and they're not familiar with seeing Dragonborn, you're actually kind of racist. And they're a little snub-nosy about you being in here, and you're kind of, like, perusing and, like, looking at vintages and stuff, and you can't read the Elvish on them. So then you come up and say, hey, do you speak common or whatever?
Do I basically just drop the credit card on the counter and go, can I get some service, please?
Yeah, you say something common, and then the guy's like, I can speak common, and then you like drop the card, and he's like, what the fuck? He's like, yes, and he straightens up, demeanor changes, he's not treating you like an asshole anymore, and he directs you to that vintage and, like, shows it to you, tells you about it.
I'm going to be as snotty as I possibly can be from here on in.
Oh yeah, he takes it right. Like, you, I don't. God, my fucking wordage.
I literally almost I'll be back.
I literally almost said you verbally pound his ass.
I would have watched that show. Don't get me wrong.
But anyway, no, like, yeah, you run this guy through the ringer, just, like, being a total Karen and asshole, and he's just like, yes, ma'am, exactly. I do have 2 sisters, and I have fucked with them. I'm like, we just, like...
That's mistress, goddammit, not ma'am.
Yeah. But yeah, you have 2 bottles, unless you want to get more.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So make sure you mark down on your character sheet 2 of the world's best... No. The 2 of the universe's finest wines.
Well, they're probably not going to last very long.
No, but yeah, you eventually come back, and Lydia, did you walk away? You're still there.
Nope, I am here.
Yeah, so you're I imagine you and Liam are enjoying a small meal that they provide there with just the room. And it's a fairly nice meal. You have what are some weird kind of cherries over, like, a small bit of venison, and you have these really light, fluffy mashed potatoes with a, like, demi-glace on them, and a small extra bowl of demi-glace. You 2 are enjoying that, and there's a meal set aside for you, and you come in. Now, what happened was Sai came in, and he's like, hey, I had her at a room, and, like, he goes up and he's talking to them, like, what do you mean I don't have a room? What do you mean? She said I had a room. Like, do Liam or Yuka, do you like offer him, like, to stay in your room, or, like, do you just stay quiet? Like, it's obvious Hamari didn't book a room with Az's card here.
I mean, I would, like, how much is a room here if we were to just buy him one? So I don't have to listen to his, like, incessant suffering.
650 gold pieces a night.
Ugh.
Oh.
Are we going to be here a while?
23 days.
Ugh. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me make a
Make a murder. I can help.
Hold on, let me stop having a stroke for 5 fucking minutes. I would like to make a personality trait roll.
Yeah, go for it.
Or did you end up? Did you end up rolling your passion?
Yeah, that was I did a 1d. Yeah, it was 1d20 plus 2.
That's a pass. Go ahead and mark 1 inspiration.
Oh, fucking schwizzle. Anyway, the personality trait, I think I will do, we will do generous versus
Cruel. Do it.
cruel. Generous versus cruel, which is literally what the fuck is it?
You don't have to do what I
Plus 2
say.
and minus 4. Well, I was trying to think of another one that was like more fun and different, but I was like, yeah, it's generous and cruel. It's generous and cruel.
Okay, so that's did you have the trait roll set up?
I could have swore. Where do you find it?
It'd be at the bottom left of your screen.
Bottom what?
Like on the Roll20 underneath the names, there'd be
underneath the names there should be a button that says whatever you named it as.
Nada. I don't see that shit.
Okay, then just type in do these separately /R 1d20 plus 2 and then /R 1d20 minus 4. Or you could just roll 2d20 and then add the modifiers on from left to right.
Did I do that right?
Oh, no. Yeah, you did. Yep, you did. Now go ahead and roll the 1d20 minus 4.
Okay.
So generosity wins.
Didn't win by much, but it wins out. I would absolutely go up to Sai and just say, hey, like kind of dismissing whoever he's yelling at, like, hey, I'm so sorry about the confusion. Sai, these are some kind of expensive rooms. If you need a comfortable bed to stay in, you can use my room. I don't need that much sleep. I'll be fine.
He looks at you like, oh yeah, like you meditate and stuff. You don't use beds, right?
Exactly. She says with definitely like a strained tone in her voice.
Yeah, he's like, cool. Thank you, Yuka. And like, he makes some half-ass apology towards the. It's like, okay, I want some food now. And so
were we all handed a slate, or was just Himari handed a slate?
Just Himari. Yeah.
Okay, I thought he handed us all a slate.
Nope.
I got back from using the bathroom. I totally would have invited Sai to rest in my room if he needed to.
God damn it!
That's fine.
We can go with Yuka.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I already made the roll. We're fine.
Stay in your room.
But so
I did say I was going to the bathroom, right?
Yeah. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. But yeah, Himari, you're heading back, and you hear a bit of commotion from like the rich folk crowd to your right.
What are the rich people upset about?
They see a large warforged with a small elven girl sitting on his shoulder, walking through the crowd, and you see Elrilla point to you.
Himari's going to react by that kind of she's going to kind of close her eyes, tilt her head back. Fine. Yep. Puts on a fake smile. Okay, let's see what you want.
Yep. So you come back and you see Elrilla's got a small knapsack, and she says, "Well, I found a book. How did your?" She said, "I found a book. How did your meeting go with Azragoth?"
Well, I got mind raped a little bit, but I think we got the point across that we're going to be working together. So,
Brookside's like, "What's mind rape?"
Hopefully, you never have to find out.
Elrilla's like, don't worry about it, buddy. Elrilla hops down and says, he attacked you?
Well, I suppose rape implies resistance.
Wait.
Anyway.
Brookside's about to ask something. And
consensual rape.
Brookside's about to ask something, and then Elrilla's like, nope, nope.
Nope, I don't want to explain this. So I'm going to briefly go over he's agreed to basically assist us. I have the company card to get us some lodging for the time being. He's letting us stay up here in the upper city so you can find your book and study and do what you need before we go.
Oh. And she leans in. You did that? He gave you all that because you didn't resist?
In a way.
Huh. Okay, I'm too tired. I don't want to deal with this.
Alrighty.
Yep.
If you see Sai, don't let him in your room.
I wouldn't let Sai into my room anyway.
In fact, just pretend you don't know him. Call security.
I do that anyway. And Brookside's like, she does a lot. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. Now I'm gonna go enjoy some room service. If you don't mind.
Sure. Is that wine?
Yep.
Looks fancy.
No, go away. No, mine.
Fine. She has her bag. I guess you did get a room for her, so her and Brookside.
I would figure that, yeah, your and Brookside would be in the same room.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's how Brookside prefers it. He just he basically it decreases his size and sits there like a brick. But anyway, yeah. So we find ourselves in the Loman Lie, and most of you have eaten. Sai dug into his funds to buy some food, and Hamari, you come in and Sai's sitting there eating when Yuka and Liam are just having a light conversation, and Sai looks at you glaring, and he says, "Jerk," through food in his mouth.
Do not emulate that, please.
I'm gonna approach the nearest staff member. Does that guy have a room here?
She says, "I don't think so."
He's just made a rude comment to me. Could you please take care of that?
Oh, give me a second. I'll go get a bouncer.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Brookside and them already went upstairs, making a bit of kind of commotion, and then you came in and said that. Liam and Yuka, you're sitting there, and maybe talking with Sai?
Well, a solid maybe.
Well, a kind of bulky-ish, still pretty lanky for an elf, walks up behind Sai and, Liam, and you're sitting there, and this elf basically says, "You got a problem here, sir?" And Sai turns around with a piece of venison in his mouth. "What? No problem? What?" And he's confused. And he says, "You're what would be the word you'd use? You're accosting the guests, sir." "I am a guest." "You don't have a room here, sir." "Well, I'm bunking with him. Or with her."
Yuka coughs.
And he looks over, looks at Sai, nods and says, "Be civil." And Sai's like, "Oh, what? What?" And the bouncer walks away. And Sai turns to you, Liam, and Yuka and says, What was that about?"
I shrug.
Now,
yeah, I could figure out why.
Sai just continues to masticate, eating the food. It's like, "Oh, it's so good. This is better than that shitty thing we had at the other end. It actually has flavor." But yeah, so the night winds down, and we see each one of you in your rooms, respectively, and Hamari, are you just literally downing both these bottles?
Well, I was attempted to invite Yuka to help share that with me.
Bless.
Yeah, so how does that look like?
Yeah, just remember I'm a lightweight, but feel free to draw the scene.
Oh gosh. I would like to. The only word I can. abuse isn't the correct word, but I want to use the credit card to basically get as much room service as I can.
Okay.
You know,
That's
not abuse Yuka. Okay, that's
yeah. That's what I was
slightly
like.
different.
What? The Dragon Dami Mommy can abuse Yuka, though.
Dragon Dami Mommy. No!
So like, yeah, there's
we're
hot
gonna
baths,
we're gonna
there's
get the hot
towels.
baths. We're getting the massage, that little mud mask thing where you get the cucumbers on your eyes. I don't know if that's good for a lizard, but I'll get it anyway.
Right.
It can't hurt a lizard.
Okay, so are you including Yuka in on this, or is it just you?
I'll include Yuka in this.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll enjoy it.
It's an almost girls' party.
Yeah. Yeah, we see the both of you getting private room service and stuff like that, because sometimes like, oh well, the hot baths are here, blah 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 blah. And there's prep manicuring. They actually have a person that they had to call to come to the inn, the Lomanai, because they actually do know how to handle Dragonborn care.
Ooh.
So you have like a personal servant who actually does speak Common and actually speaks Draconic. It's a human.
Just like a Kestrachurn.
Or not Draconic. They actually speak
Dresden?
Draza.
Draza?
Dresra.
Yeah.
So you pronounce
It's very gutted, but you can have a light conversation with you.
It's just the help. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be.
Yeah. But yeah, so you both get taken care of very well.
Stop it.
Tried not to. Yeah, so yeah, we see that scene, and then we end with like you two like maybe enjoying a couple glasses of this really fine wine. And then as the camera pans away, it pans outside the window and scoots over to the next window, where we see Elrilla and Brookside. Brookside like tucked in the corner, and Rilla sitting on the bed looking over a book. And as she's looking through it, she like stops, looks at the page, and then pulls out like a notebook and like just starts writing on it. And then we pan over and we see Yuka's room where Sai is, and Sai pulls out like a Hawkster pocket, like a bag of holding, and pulls out like 5 books and is sitting on the bed with them, and he starts opening them up and starts perusing them. And then the next one, the camera fades over to the window. We see Liam. Liam, what are you doing in this very hoity-toity room? It's not a super big room, but it's very nice. Like literally everything is updone ludicrously well. The bed is the best thing you've ever felt. The room service like got you these like really nice like nuts and fruits, just as like a side bed thing. You didn't even ask for it; they just brought them to you.
Probably just sitting in quiet contemplation.
Okay.
Mulling over events and memories.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, you think what like tell me your turmoil a little bit with like what Hamari said, like, you know, that Azragoth was screwing with your mind.
It's not so much that. It's probably just something that he does normally. But the turmoil for that is, well, one of the things that Liam holds very highly is freedom.
Right.
Mind control to him is like a set of shackles.
Right. So yeah, we see
the fact that somebody so freely and so readily shackled him so easily disturbs him.
Mm-hmm. And in these times when you start feeling this way, do you think of the sea? Do you think of Talos? Like, how does your character rectify that?
Eventually, I just bottle it up and move on.
I think, yeah, we see you like
moving. Or I usually strategize or I go over strategies and intelligence and basically assets that I have, and essentially just strategize.
Okay.
go over strategies and what my next move should be.
Yeah, so we see like maybe the camera panning. We see Liam walk into the room with
my
like
next
this.
move should be.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we see Liam walk in the room with his little bowl full of like these nuts and fruits. You maybe take a couple of them, eat them, and then like you set it down. You sit down on the bed, and then we see like the camera like come inside and like turn to the side, and we just see you kind of like sit there for a moment, like tapping your armlet with like your finger, and then like you lean back, and then you cross your arms over your chest, and you just like lean back and think. And we see the camera pan away, and as it pans away, there's this transition as it's going through the door. That it goes from like a super ornate, like fucking ludicrously beautiful door, to all of a sudden like from the wood door to a actual log out in the wilderness somewhere. Probably made from the same wood as the door. It actually probably is. Same color. But it's night out. It's really dark. And we see the camera panning back and further away. And we see it's raining, it's storming, and as the camera is turning around, we see a lake. And we see a lake just covered in storms and clouds. And like as the camera pans up and looks at the clouds, we see many lightning bolts, but finally the lightning bolts culminate together, and we see like the form of a bird, and that's where we cut to black. All right, cool. So we got everything I wanted done on time too.
Sweet.
That's a first. Okay,
I tried to keep notes of the session, so if anyone wants to add anything, go ahead.
Did you get the code phrase down? Because I already forgot it.
The code phrase?
Yeah.
Darling, the key was never in place. You may leave whenever you like.
Yep, there we go.
Yep. Let's see here. So, yeah, and Michelle's also got the audio recording too, which I will post whenever she gets around to getting it done. I'll try and remember to do it. So,
perfect. Is it going to be Shadowhearts?
It's just a fucking AI image generator. That's what it did.
I know what it
I
did.
assumed that it was AI when I saw the Shadowhearts.
I originally read Shadowhearts, and then I was looking at it, and I'm staring at the W, and it's like, there are too many lines in that W. And I started looking at the other words, and I'm like, oh.
Where was this post?
Oh, it's in
announcements. It's in announcements.
It's in announcements.
No, it's in the Shadowhearts. Oh, it is in announcements. Never mind.
It's an announcement.
Yes, I see.
As it gets cataloged, it'll get moved into Shadowhearts. But it's like with all AI things. Like you first glance at it, your brain's like, I get what that was, and then you look at it, you're like, that's not at all.
It gets worse the more you look at it.
Oh my god! Literally, those ingredients lists, like the one for like just the baking a cake. I was like, oh, this kind of. Wait, hold on.
Me and Michelle are pretty sure that the original one that I think Shoot posted, I think a person just added words onto it because we couldn't, like, she couldn't get Dolly to actually add, like, those letters. The text is way too clean. Like, she showed what she tried doing with it, and you can see the difference in, like, how it actually does text. Like, like flowers fleur. And every time milk is fucking eggs.
Every single time.
It is. It's every fucking time. Anyway, so real quick, did anyone finish a short or long-term goal?
I did. I got the focus I was looking for.
Okay.
Did I?
I just got to remember how to get there. I'm going to do this every time.
I found the king guy.
You did?
Yeah, we found the king guy.
So,
my goal.
Let's look at each one of these individually. Let's start with actually Lamari real quick. So, find the king guy. That is not long term. Yep. So you can go ahead and classify that. It's not long term. You can go ahead and change that to done, and you can get 1 XP for that. And Liam, yours was, where is it? Acquire focus with a plane. Wait, that says plane shift spell.
Yes, plane shift requires a tuned fork to the.
For the plane shift spell. Yeah. Okay, so you can mark that as done and get yourself 1 XP. And Yuka, you think you might have finished one?
Yeah, no, I don't think I did.
Okay. Don't
Not
forget
the
to
slightest.
like when you're playing, like even after it's today, just make sure you mark them as like I recently added these. Like if there's something your character wants to do, like in the next session or something involved, maybe you want to ask Azragoth a question, or as long as it's not something so perturbed, like it needs a tiny bit of effort to be a short-term goal. I can't just be like I want to walk down the street, or the person we're gonna go talk to anyway, like right now or the next session, that has no real difficulty to it. Like not with going to Azragoth where you have to like, well, how do we find him? Where do we go? How do we get an audience with him? Like that's a little bit of effort. Yeah, like you want to buy a burrito. That's not an acceptable short-term goal.
Okay, but I am really bad at coming up with these short-term goals, though. I have fucking tried, and I've failed every step of the way.
Right. So the easiest thing to think of is, or the easiest way to try and think of this, not that it's going to necessarily be easy for you, but is, think of the session, how it went, and think of what you're going to be doing next session, which is there's going to be a bit of time skip because it's going to be Arilla and Sai using the library. So there's going to be a little bit of that in there. So if there's a particular bit of information you may be looking for, or maybe you want to learn about the Blood Forest, or maybe more about what the weird Blood Soul Tree thing is, like those are things you have questions for. So you could definitely add that as a short-term goal. There's also long-term goals, which are things that require a lot of effort.
True.
Okay, and okay, so then now Yuka, you did, or Lydia, you did add 1 XP for doing the trait roll.
Ooh, I did not do that, but I did add the inspiration from the other thing.
Oh, yes. Wait. I don't see it on your sheet, though.
Oh, I forgot to hit enter.
There we go.
Here you go.
Fixed it.
I did.
And Hamar, you added your 1 XP for doing your trait roll?
Yep.
Okay.
I did complete another goal.
Oh, what was that?
Gain entry to the Elven Realms and pursue Azragoth.
Yeah, that's worth 1 XP. Okay. Yeah, it's funny too. I was looking at yours, Andrew, like your passion rolls. I'm like, damn, nothing. I can't get it to fit in. And then like Hamari's talking about the end of the world stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm like, wait, that's Liam's passion.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. Oh, that what I wanted to do, and I forgot. Hamari, go ahead and roll your love of music for the Azragoth play. That's the last time you'll be able to roll that in this area, because it's
just a die 20 plus 2 then?
Yes. You want 10 or higher.
What I do think is interesting is he didn't bat an eye when I mentioned this world didn't have all that, or have that time.
Yep.
That sparked Liam.
Okay, so you passed. So yeah, go ahead and mark 1 inspiration, and since the check skill, go ahead and mark 1 XP as well. And I'm almost done with her. So yeah, Liam, none of your passions got. And I am gonna try and do it retroactively if I think of it, because like, oh well, that's what I meant to do, or maybe I'm remembering now. Just keep getting the habit of trying to remember that they're there. Okay, and then everyone go ahead and mark 1 XP for a fantastic session. I think that went great all around.
Sweet.
Aw, I mean, considering we actually stuck to your plan, I definitely feel like it went great.
We mostly stuck to the plan. A couple people peeled off.
Well, that was because I like, as much as I do like using a character's personality to sometimes fit some slapstick into a serious conversation or things that are going on to kind of like make some more fun, I needed to get them away because I can't keep playing a character.
That's fair.
Yeah, I got a lot of this shit going on, so and it made sense for both of them. Like, it's part of their kind of thing. Okay, so that should be it. Do any of you have any other questions? Stump, thank you for writing the notes for the session.
Yeah, did you go over them? Make sure I got everything.
Yeah, I guess I can do that real quick. Hamari tried to intimidate some of the local priests, staring at them at the camp did not go well. Probably too dumb to understand what a cum is. Really mentioned the way line, something to do with God, the line to the specific forest. Yuka got new staff, the traveler. Liam first. Area west where you can get cheap diamond dust. Liam in his way. It's a high city of a pretty old woman named. Let's take her shouting. Hermione has to wake her up by shouting her face. She agrees to bring them to the upper city. Be her +1 upper library. Turns out old lady was another avatar of the forest deity. Found college campus. As regards teaching, was sent a message. Party tries to bribe the clerk. Party watches the blade of Thasgard, tells a story about his life. Gets into a psionic brawl with Hamari while distracting Liam and Hamari or Luca. Hamari gets across his tension and her sincerity via mind reading. Ezra agrees to help in a way. Gives responding code phrase. As Daddy gave us his company card. Literally, fucking Michelle wrote, "Get Daddy King's guy's credit card checked." Express Hamari quickly abuses his privilege. Gets 2 bottles of the best wine in the universe, shares them with Yuka and a spa night. Amarilla going to the book, making notes. Sai going over several books in Yuka's room. Liam comprehending the concepts of free will while eating these nuts.
God.
Perfection. Top tier. 10 out of 10.
Go ahead and bold that and italicize.
I'm mad. But keep it.
And period.
Mad, keep it.
Anonymous hyena. Anyway. Okay, cool. So that is the end of the session. Hope you all had fun. I need to go freshen up, let my dogs out, and then go probably watch Supernatural. I mean, Wincest. I mean, Dean and Sam being idiots.
Do you do that with your right hand or your left?
It depends. I've been having shoulder pain, so I've been using my left.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do.
No, that show, I want to finish it, but it's fucking formulaic as hell. Like,
yeah,
it's like when the two brothers stop lying to each other, then their mom comes back to life, so she could be the one who's lying. So it's just always Winchester's just constantly lying. Like, no, nothing's wrong, nothing's bothering me. I'm handling this just fine, and it's just flip flopped all the fucking time.
Yeah,
I mean, it is family.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I've gotten to my older age, just tired of it. Yeah, study in normal family dynamics. Yeah. But it has some glowing points, some funny stuff. But otherwise. Anyway, hope you all had fun. I'm going to have... I'm going to have a good night. All of you have a good night.
You too.
Have a good night. I'm going to step off as well.
Try not to have a good night just to spite you.
Yes.
Gary!
Later, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.